What? Got it. Got it. Welcome, everybody, to One Shot Onslaught. We have got a treat for you today where one of our patrons, Jeremy, is going to be DMing a mini campaign. This is going to be the first episode that he wrote exactly a year ago today, or like this week at least. Yeah, yesterday. So it was close. We almost made it on the 1 year anniversary. We'll go ahead and have everybody introduce themselves, where everyone can find you, and then we'll kind of circle back and do the characters after that. Actually, no, we'll do the characters too. But Jeremy, you just won't have a character. Sorry, Jeremy. Yeah, you get the most characters. Hey, Jeremy, where can everyone find you at?
Here. Lately, I've been streaming a lot on Twitch, so you can come watch me play a bunch of different video games, mainly CFEs, and we've been trying to get some D&D on there as well. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at the exact same handle, Master Uzaru. But other than that, like they said, I'm not playing any characters. I'll just be playing everything else.
And then Jurundu.
Hello, I am at Jurundu on Twitter. You can mainly catch me there or on the One Shot Onslaught Halfway to Heroes Discord, where I am hanging out there daily, essentially, or on Conan Exiles on the Halfway to Heroes server.
And then Mitch.
Howdy, it's Mitch. I'm only on Instagram at the moment, taking a nice long break from Facebook and Twitter. On Instagram at Base Daddy Mitch, all one word. You can find my production company that I basically run by myself, where I just post my random shit on all the socials at Dead City Productions. I'm on Twitch. I'm going to probably be streaming right after this on my Twitch channel, and that's Dead City Gaming. That's Dead_City_Gaming. And yeah, and I'm also on the Discord as well, posting randomly. And I'm also on the Conan Exile server too. Shooting shit with a bow. So let's do this.
And last but not least, John. I just now learned your real name today when I saw you in the Zoom call.
You can banish him now.
Yeah. Hi, my name's John. You can find me at JBG Garage Crafts on Twitter. I'm in the Halfway to Heroes Discord, and then I'm not very active on Twitter. I mainly post reviews from my Etsy shop where I make dice vaults and other gaming accessories, which is jbggaragecrafts.etsy.com.
Awesome. And now I guess we'll go ahead and go back around that path we just took. So, John, who are you playing tonight?
I'm playing Ray, the Changeling Sorcerer.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's good. I think we just need race and class at the moment, and I think we'll fill in as we go. Mitch, how about you?
I am playing I'm not going to try and pronounce the actual name, but it's a high elf fighter.
Okay. And name?
Menlock Mercer.
Yeah, I didn't have room for your last name in there too, so I wanted to make sure we got that in there.
Yeah, it's all good.
I am playing Alder Buckthorn. I am a human paladin. And then Jurundu, what do you got?
I'm playing Sarcosuchus, who is a lizardman barbarian. You can call him Sarko.
Okay, thank you so much.
Notice me, Sako Senpai. Notice me.
And Jeremy, I think we're ready to hand it off to you.
All right. I was just taking notes. I got everyone's races and stuff down. Okay. So the group of you have been coming from Ravens Point. You are known widely as the Q team. Everyone knows when the first 15 teams didn't quite work out, Q team is your first group to go to.
Q team, fuck yeah!
So QT kind of works for one of the guilds over there, where they're kind of taking different quests and just making a living, doing different odd jobs, helping people out as best they can. But they're also kind of fairly new to this combat life. So a lot of their things, they dealt with some thieves here and there, maybe a pack of wolves that unexpectedly attacked their camp. But for the most part, these are all level 1 characters. And so they're very, they're still kind of green. They're getting good at this. They're starting to become the heroes they want to be. And all of you have been traveling in search of just a little bit more work. There's kind of been a lot of different adventurers coming to Ravens Point, and you found out that there are multiple chapters of the guild all through the land. So you actually are making your way kind of towards Neverwinter, and you find yourself in the Neverwinter Woods. As you're marching through Neverwinter Woods, it was about 2 or 3 in the morning. You were still a few miles from this town, but you decided to set up camp. You made it through the night. It's the next morning. You start packing up your things, and you are walking on this kind of path towards this town. It's only a few minutes walk, so it's about 5 or 6 a.m. And you see rising in the distance of the forest these giant stone walls. They're probably a good 50 or 60 feet tall. And there's a large gate that, even though the 2 big doors are open, it seems like if they were shut, it'd be very, very hard to get past these walls, at least without being seen. Feinstown, however, is a quaint and quiet little village that's nestled snugly in the northern reaches of these Neverwinter Woods. The small hamlet is flanked on all sides by tall, grandiose, ancient-looking walls, and their withered and cracked features sing songs of a more archaic and brutal past. In these modern times, it's a lot of peace and modest tranquility. So these once necessary ramparts serve as little more than rustic decoration at this point. There are tranquil sounds of chattering chirps and rustling leaves coming through this like breezy morning. It's very peaceful. It's a very, very nice night for you all. And you suddenly start making your way up to these large gates and into this still sleeping town, as it's very early in the morning. And after such a long and arduous journey, it seems like just the perfect place to rest, eat, restock, get some more supplies, and maybe take it easy for a few days before continuing your journey to Neverwinter. You all have just arrived. It's very early. What would you like to do? You are standing right outside these enormous walls, and there's this giant, like 50-foot double door that is just wide open. You don't see any guards or anybody.
This place is called Feinstown? What was it
Yes,
called?
Feinstown.
Okay.
I would assume we'd want to go and find a inn or some place to get a drink.
Yeah, have any of us ever been here? Or is it...
You tell me. So it's a very small town. It's kind of secluded. You're maybe 15 or 20 miles away from Neverwinter itself, and the Neverwinter Woods are a dense, very like large wooded area, and so it is kind of remote. But it is kind of like one of the only decent villages that's kind of on this pathway going towards Neverwinter. Basically, this is for the people that went off of the main trade road and kind of into the forest for one reason or another, and that's where you all are.
Alder has definitely never been here before, by the way.
Right, and I've transferred you onto a different page on Roll20 just so you can kind of see this overview of the map. But you're standing right outside these massive gates, and it seems like you can just walk in. They don't seem to be overly cautious, and it's actually a really nice morning.
Okay, awesome. Yes, let's go find a drink. That is something that we drink.
You're going to make me go into a bloody town, then I'm going to be good and drunk, mate. I can't stand the pressure of these walls closing in on me, mate. I don't like it at all.
Pull yourself together, lizard man. We have better things to do besides going to a damn disgusting-looking town full of this rabble that's around here.
Well, I completely agree, but since we're here, we might as well be drunk, right?
Whatever. You guys go drink in a corner. I'm going to do something else.
So you all wander into this town about 6 a.m, looking for some heavy drinks. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. And as you start making yourself in, you see that these walls are very large. In this town, though, there's not that many buildings in it. It is a small town. It's a hamlet. The walls themselves are quite impressive. And a lot of these buildings seem to be made of stone as if they, in the past, maybe served a much greater purpose, like for war. This is maybe some sort of protected stronghold at some point. But for the most part, all the buildings seem kind of small and quaint and very modest, except immediately to your left when you walk in, you see another set of large stone gates and a big, large wall. And this wall seems much more new than the one that surrounds the city. It doesn't seem cracked and covered with moss and lichen the way the other one did. And there also seems to be an enormous, like it looks kind of like a small castle off in the distance, like this huge property. This property is so large, it seems to be taking up nearly a quarter of the entire town. and you do see 4 heavily armored guards. They have these javelins. They're wearing like iron or steel armor, and they're standing in front of this large iron gate. It's not as big as the main gate to the town, but it's about 20 feet tall. It's still very impressive. To your right, you see the path kind of starts going down a little bit, and there's a little cliffside, and you see another building that looks to be about 2 feet tall, and it looks like a guard post, and you see a large tower on top of that where you see a guard armed with a crossbow, and he just seems to be watching you all. The crossbow's not like aimed at you or anything like that, but these people do seem to just take notice of you all.
G'day, copper. How's it going? You all right up there?
Are you talking to the guards in front of
Just
the...
waving at him and yelling, yeah.
Oh, up at the guard
You all right?
post?
You having a good one?
He's like, yeah, what can I do for you? It's early.
Nothing, I was just saying hello. Passing the time of day, you flaming galah. What's your problem?
Well, there's still people sleeping out here.
Well, this time of day? Half the bloody day's gone.
After bloody day's done, we just got up. I just finished the morning tea.
Well, it's your bloody problem, mate.
You want to come up here, maybe whisper that in my ear? We're not going to scream about this.
Well, I'm not going to waste any more time with you, you rude pillock. Come on,
No,
boys.
yeah.
God, could you be any louder? Like, Jesus.
Probably, mate. Yeah, I reckon.
And you're a lizard barbarian?
Yeah.
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 He goes, hey, you better watch yourself, Scaleface. You don't look like
it's
a
like-
friendly bunch exactly. We'll be watching you.
I'll be watching you.
All right.
Just like awkwardly.
And he does that.
Hi. Hey, where can we get drinks at?
And you guys are so far from this. You're like 80 feet away from you.
Hey, human. Hey, human. Where can we get drinks at?
Aren't you also a human?
That's right, I am. Yeah.
Calling him human. And he's like, what did I just tell you about yelling?
Menlock just walks over right up to the guy and is like, listen. Oh, God. Do you know what soap is? I mean, there's a reason why people are over there. Like, really, do you know what soap and water is?
I don't.
What?
Anyways,
He
what are
starts
you
walking down
saying?
these stairs and going kind of closer to you. What did you say? Stop yelling.
I'm not yelling. I'm talking to you in a calm, orderly manner. We need to know where we can drink.
I can hear
And
you from
please.
60 feet away. That means you're yelling.
Menlock just walks right up to him like, listen. Tell us where we can get drinks. We'll leave you alone. You can go back to whatever the hell you were doing.
Minlock, what are you saying, Minlock?
Shut up.
Can't hear a
I'm
bloody
talking
thing from
to
over
him.
there, mate. Looks
Hey,
like he's
listen.
asking him for a kiss.
We need to know where the drinks are, and please, take a bath of some kind. You smell like day-old socks.
Minlock,
Just
are you
saying.
telling this man that he smells bad again, like always? Minlock, what are you saying?
Yes, I'm telling him he stinks. Jeez.
He says, look, I don't know what you lot want in here, but stop all the yelling. And he goes, go that way, and there's a goods shop, an inn, and a pub. Take your pick. Just stop screaming about it.
Okay, thank you. Now,
Go see
please,
Larry. He just
Go-
getting breakfast ready.
go shower, please. You smell. We're gonna go find Larry. Thank you.
Are we looking for a Gary? Is there a Gary here?
Menlock just walks back over to the group. He's like, we're looking for a Larry, not a
I
Gary.
think he said his name was Carrie.
Carrie, where are you, Carrie?
I'm sorry, fellas. I wasn't listening. I was rummaging through this pile of garbage looking for something to eat.
God, please stop talking. Your breath smells like you just ate garbage.
Oh,
He
because
just
I
starts
did.
walking away. The guard's just walking up the stairs like, what the fuck? He's like shaking his head. He's just
Can you
over
believe
it.
someone left a perfectly good chicken carcass over here?
Yes, I can
Yes.
believe that because that's the garbage.
It's only
That is a
about 3
chicken.
days old.
You'll see a second guard walk out on that little like fenced up porch thing, and he's like talking to you. See him talking to the other one's like, I don't know. He's like pointing at him. He's like, I don't know what's going on.
Now let's go to the pub, get some real food, and yes, stop eating the garbage, and then we will find out what we're doing next. Okay?
Hey, one man's trash is another man's treasure, son.
All right.
Put that in your bag. You can eat it later.
Just shoving bits of like rotten chicken into his haversack.
As you travel forward along the side of this cliff, you do notice that the guards post is a little bit like in this lower cliffside to your right. There are trees that are on both sides of this path. Like for a town, there's still a good bit of foliage inside. It looks very nice. And straight ahead of you is like a statue. And there's just like a large statue, and it's like a man in armor standing on top of a slain dragon. Immediately to the right of the statue, there is also this large clock tower. It's probably, I mean, it's tall. I wouldn't say it's large. It's maybe like 15 feet on each side, but it's a good, 60 or 70 feet tall, so that it just kind of barely overlooks the top of the walls since it's on this elevated cliff. And you see behind that you seem to be going towards the actual main square of the town. You see like a wishing well, a couple large buildings. You see what seems to be like a large playhouse. There's a place that looks like a general goods store. You see a small inn. And sure enough, you see a building that looks like a pub and restaurant. And there's a picture on the front of like a bear with a monocle and a top hat. And it says Barrington Pub.
All I have, place. It's a bear. Because you see, it's a bear wearing a monocle in that.
God, I can't bear
well,
to see
on the
this.
sign. That's on the sign, yeah.
I love it. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Can't bear.
That's this one right here. If you can all see where I'm clicking on.
Man, can't bear to see stuff like that. Horrible advertisement.
Yes,
all right.
Sarco, very funny.
Yeah,
I guess this is where we got to go. Let's go in and figure out our lives.
Is it open?
You know that the guard did say he should be whipping up some breakfast.
All right.
That Larry should.
I'm gonna
go
knock.
see Larry.
Carrie, are you in there, Carrie?
It's Larry. It's Larry.
As you start walking through the main town, it does seem. I mean, you'll hear like some chickens in the background, and you hear someone shooing them. You turn around. There's this little tiny farm, and there's one or two people outside doing some chores. You see like a man on the front porch over here at this kind of guild hall type place. He's just kind of like, or at the concert hall. I mean, he's just like sweeping the porch. But for the most part, there's not very many people outside right now. But as you are walking past kind of the wishing well and you're making your way towards the pub with the very charming logo, you actually hear a voice like, "Hey, it's about goddamn time y'all showed up here." And there's this man that comes crawling out from behind the wishing well. Like he looks like he was sleeping. He seems like an old man. He's like a super long overgrown mustache, like a stubbly beard. He seems to have like a red, like really worn, like beanie type hat, like imagine like the Seven Dwarfs or something, and this big red nose. He looks like he lives in a fucking gutter, basically. He's just like, his shoes are falling apart. He's got holes in there. All his clothes are very oversized, and he's just like yelling this at you guys. And the way he's talking, he seems like he knows you, or at least he appears to think so. And he's
I gotta know one thing, man. Which of the seven dwarves are you?
Man, I ain't no dwarf, man.
You look like a rejected dwarf.
You never change, Sammy. You never change. He starts patting you on the back.
Okay, I'm not Sammy. And God, dude, do you know what soap and shower or water is? Like, really? Does anyone in this town know what soap and water is?
Did you get the horns? He suddenly gets very serious. Or did they get away again?
He turns to the others like, he's talking about horns. Do you guys know what horns are?
Well, I don't know if it's appropriate discussion for polite company.
Don't you try telling me about lemonade. And he just starts wandering off talking. And he's like, of course I want sugar. He like seems to be saying it like in the distance to no one in particular.
Yes, that was normal conversation.
All right, mate. Well, you take care and have a nice day, yeah? And I like your shoes. You have a great one.
Hey, if those demons come crawling after you, call me. He looks dead serious.
Absolutely.
Yes, we'll do.
Okay. Bye, local towns drunk. We'll not see you again. God, does anyone
like
in this
a real
town...
character, fellas. A real character.
Does
I reckon he might have been the mayor.
You see him walking away, and he kind of like goes towards like the playhouse type area, and you see him look, and the guy's on the porch, and he'll go, Hey, Sammy, there you are, you son of a bitch! And he starts like walking up towards the house, towards the big ass playhouse.
Yes, friggin' man.
Yes, local drunk. That's nice. Okay, can we go inside now and like figure out what our plan is?
Sure.
I really gotta get out of this stench of socks and death.
I could definitely do it
Yeah,
with
sorry about that,
breakfast.
mate. I think that's me.
We're gonna get you to shower soon
Nah,
with
it'll be
soap
fine.
and water.
I don't
Side
take showers.
quest. Make him shower.
Unhygienic. All
You
that
need to
clean
be more
water, something
hygienic.
about that just gives me the shivers, mate. Nah.
So you start walking up towards this stoop of the pub, and as you're walking, you know, like besides the kind of seemingly crazy man that seemed like he was homeless and quite drunk, other than that, it's been a really quiet moment. And as you're walking, it's like another minute or two of silence when suddenly you hear a loud cry shrieking out behind you. And once again, it's like 6 a.m, and this loud cry breaks through this tranquil silence of the morning. You look up and see a large, grossly overweight man in severely too small of clothing. He's wearing like a tiny stained apron. It's white. Well, it was white. It has like all these different stains on it. He seems to be sprinting in your direction faster than he seems to have any right to be able to. He's huffing and puffing as these exasperated gasps. He's screaming and waving his arms in a maniacal fashion. He goes, my loaves, my artisanal sourdoughs. He's yelping and just nearly falling down as he like skids past you all, and he jogs up these small steps towards this like worn down wooden building. You'll see him just bang on the door twice and then like struggle to get it open. He nearly like trips getting inside, and he'll slam it shut, and you'll just kind of hear, you have to help me, please. And you know, when the door shuts, you can like hear him yelling after that, but you're not really hearing what he's saying. He didn't even seem to be paying attention to any of you.
Larry?
Which building did he run into?
He started running into this one. The one, yeah, right next to you all.
Okay.
Well, I for one think that was disturbing enough as it is, seeing that roly-poly man just run. I think we have two options. Either we can go in and ignore him and find something better to do, or we go and help the sorry sack of whatever you want to call it.
Sorry, it's this one right here, actually, where I just put that mark. Doesn't really matter, though.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to do?
But I mean, you're right up at the pub. Like, you can still go into the pub if you want. It's just, happened.
I'm really hungry. I wouldn't mind getting something to eat. And I just walk into the pub.
Okay.
Okay, that's one out. What about you two?
I don't see why a loaf of bread is any of my concern. I've got a perfectly fine rotten chicken carcass in my pocket.
I'm gonna get rid of that when you're not paying attention. I'm just
Well, if you want to put
now.
your hands in my pockets, I mean, you know, that's your decision. But
It wouldn't be the
advised.
weirdest spot I put my hands before, so.
And you're the one giving me lectures about cleanliness, right? I'm not hanging around for this, and just go straight into the tavern.
Yeah, I'll go to the pub too.
Yeah, I guess I'll go and find out what that guy was all about.
Are you
So
all
everyone
going
else is going in. I'm gonna go find out what's going on with that guy.
in? Okay. So what, you're going to go follow... Oh, see what's happening with that other guy. All right,
Yeah.
so the three of you will go into Barrington Pub, and Mitch's character, Menlock Mercer, right?
Yeah.
Menlock Mercer is going to start walking on his own towards this building. I mean, it's not very far from it anyways. When you all walk inside, so you start making your way that way, and when you all walk inside this building, you see what you might expect. It's a pretty nice pub. It's got these open glass windows. I mean, they're closed, but there's nice glass windows. You can see out into the street. There's at least, I would say, 50 bar stools that are flipped upside down on the tables. It seems like the whole place has not been like completely opened yet. There are a few that are down, but it seems completely empty of any customers except for one person who's sitting at a table by himself in the corner. Looks like an elven man with short cropped, like really short blonde hair and like a nice pointed chin. And he's dressed very fine clothing, and he just seems to be by himself. He has all this paperwork and stuff out. He's just like sitting there. There's like a little plate where he seems to be eating some sort of food, and he just seems to be minding his own business. Other than that, there's the bar, and there looks like there's some dishes there, like someone had maybe been eating there before and had left. And you hear someone rummaging behind the counter, but you don't like see anyone at this moment right when you walk in. But suddenly the door will kind of like let a little bell jingle as you all enter, and this person will stand up and look over at you, and he's extremely large. He's like literally like 9 feet tall, very wide, like really wide body, and he's literally a fucking bear, literally a bear, and he has a monocle, and he's wearing like an apron, and he'll just go, "Oh, morning, chaps. What can I get for you?" And he's has a dish thing. He's just like cleaning a plate.
Fucking bear! That's the best thing I've ever seen, mate. Fantastic.
What?
How'd you get it to wear the hat?
What do you mean?
I mean, it's amazing. How'd you get the bear to... You wear the monocle and... Where's the voice coming from, mate?
He starts walking around, and this bear comes around the counter, and he's looking, and he's like towering over you, and he's like, "Sorry, I'm a little hard of hearing. What'd you say?" And it's a bear. He's like all up in your face.
Yeah, it's a bear. All right, mate. How you doing? How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm Larry. Nice to meet you. And he goes to give you a handshake.
I'm Psycho.
Yeah, it's like too big. Like
hand.
his paw is just giant. It like wraps around your arm. He's like shaking it
holds
vigorously.
onto a finger.
Like hurts your shoulder a little bit.
Ow. All right. Well, that's certainly a bear, all right.
I haven't seen you lot before. Are you new around here?
Yeah, just came in this morning.
Oh,
Guards are a bit unpleasant, a bit rude. Just trying to pass the time of day, and they were calling me all kinds of names and telling us to bugger off and all that. Said, come down your way.
Ah, well, what brings you down here? You travel all the way here to try Larry Barrington's legendary ale?
I can't bloody remember, to be honest, guys. You know, I mainly just concentrate on looking for scraps of food to eat and adding another face to me face coat.
I can get you a few scraps of food for a few scraps of gold. What you gonna be eating? He pats you on the back. It's like, oh, fuck, ow. He's like super nice. He's just huge.
That's beautiful. Great. I mean, whatever you've got lying around, preferably like maybe it's just slightly on the turn. Doesn't have to be the freshest meat at all.
Nope. I would prefer a little fresher and cooked myself. Anything? Any eggs and bacon?
Yeah, I could get some eggs, sir. So we got on the turn, cooked the normal way, and for you,
just some water, please.
Some water. All right. He'll just start moving to the back. Can I get you anything to drink while you're waiting?
Jeremy, I'm loving your bear walk, by the way. That was glorious. That looked just for a second I got really spooked. I thought there was a bear DMing for me.
Oh my god. It got him.
No, just passing through.
All right. And he'll just go to the back. And he'll come out after a minute. He gives you a water back. And you'll just hear, things like pans and things clanging around in this back room behind the bar. After a few minutes, you hear like a sizzling noise, and you can all kind of smell the nice salty, savory smell of different things being cooked. What do you want to do while you're just sitting here at the bar and he's in the back?
I want to look. Is there a window that I can see the house that Minlock went into? Because I would like to just see if he's at least okay.
Yeah. If you go look out the window, and that's a good segue over, Minlock is walking. You come up to these steps, Minlock, and there's this porch.
Why do I do these things?
There's a porch with a few stairs and these two double doors, and they have these these doors are like red, like they've been freshly painted, and they have like these nice little gold, I don't think they're called leaflets, but little designs that look kind of like vines and things kind of around the edges of the door. And above it, it'll just say Murray's Guild Hall.
Okay. Just knocks on the door first. Waits a few seconds.
Yeah, you hear inside the yelling. You hear like, you just can't hear what they're saying with the door shut.
Okay. Just walks right in, and he's like, stands there with his hand on his hilt of his blade and like, need help of a hero? Oh God, what is that smell?
You walk in, and as soon as you open the door, you just hear that man that you had saw running around. You see him just yelling at this very much skinnier man much better dressed man. He's just yelling at him, and he's like, "And they destroyed everything, and the flowers everywhere, and my baguettes are gone. I just got done making some biscuits for Mrs. Peppertine, and now they're gone too." And he's just freaking out. The other guy's like, all right, chill out, Wesley. Calm down. He's like, you don't understand. This is my livelihood. He's like,
excuse me. Excuse me.
We'll get this under control. Yes, sir. One moment, sir. And he's like, Wes, relax. Calm down. Take a seat. We're going to talk about this. Yes, sir. How may I help you?
Okay, I saw the Wesley, is it? This...
Yes, how do you know my name? He seems like a little bit startled.
Literally just heard him say your name.
That could be him. Look how tall he is. He's like pointing. Did you treat me as a knight like a sneak thief?
No, I'm better than that. I'm better than this, but I'm here to help. What do you need help with?
What? Do you know who this is? Murray's like, all right, I don't know what's going on. Sir, can I help you? Do I know you?
I'm here with a group. We're the Q team from Ravens Point.
You're from Ravens Point Q team.
Yeah.
Never heard of you.
Not many have. We're kind of the thrown together team because everyone else is off doing something, but we're here to help. Saw him running in.
I'm sorry, you keep going.
You go ahead. You wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, what are you here to help with? We got some jobs and stuff, but like, I was in Wesley's like, no, I need his help. That's right now. I need him. He's like, Wesley, calm down. Wait your turn.
Okay. So Wesley seems to be a little distraught. So I saw him running in, that I'd come and lend my assistance to his problem that he has besides, again, does anyone in this town know what soap and water is? Just curious.
They both look at you like they don't understand what you're saying. Like, what's that mean?
I'm here to help. What do you need help with?
He's like, well, I mean, if you... And then Wesley's like, no, please. Something came in tonight and it stole everything. All my bagels, my biscuits gone. Everything's gone. They even destroyed the flour. What am I supposed to do? What's a baker without yeast?
Well, you're just a cook, I guess.
Exactly. This is what I thought. He's like, so they were monsters in the middle of the night. They had big yellow eyes and fangs, and they were 30 feet tall with wings as wide as in this room. And they came and like monsters, like demons, to take all my sourdough.
Okay.
The other guy in the corner, the elf, he's like looking over, like he seems mildly irritated. He's like putting his elbow down, like trying to concentrate on whatever he's writing.
Isn't that guy in a different building though?
Oh, you're right. Sorry, you're right.
Oh, why do I do these things?
He doesn't seem distracted.
Wait a minute, I can hear
He's
the
enjoying
argument
some
from
nice
across the road.
Yeah, I can just faintly hear Wesley shouts through this 2 buildings away.
Yeah.
Wesley, what else can you tell me about the things that attacked you at night?
I don't know. I was sleeping, and then I heard a little tippy tap scratch, and when I went down the stairs, there was a bang, and I tried to look, but he saw me, and he was so terrified. They burst through the door, and they escaped into the night.
How many was there?
Oh, I don't know. Could have been 1, 2, or a dozen even.
Okay. I'm gonna go talk to my team. We're gonna discuss this, and if we're gonna come and help you, we will return. We'll get all the info that we need, and we'll take care of this problem for you. Okay?
Yes, please. The whole time Murray's like, God damn it, Wesley, you gotta wait. There's rules here in place. You gotta wait your turn. There's other people ahead of you.
This seems like a very dire situation right now for a man of your town to be suffering from this economy issue. So we're going to go take care of this problem. When we come back, we can deal with the other issues if you need us. But for now, I'm going to go back to my team and let them know what's going on. Okay?
I guess. I mean, suit yourself. I don't know who you are.
I am Menlock. I am, I guess you can say, the brains of the Q team. That's not saying much because the rest of my team's not the brightest. But I got this. I'll go talk to the team and we'll figure out this, okay? All right.
He
bye.
just yawns. He's like staring absently into a cup of coffee.
Okay. Anyways. And then Menlock turns and leaves and goes and joins the others in the pub.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as you get about the time you get back, and if you're all looking out the window watching him come back, you all just see him exit this building. And he comes towards you guys. No one seems to be following him or anything. And he comes in, and it's been about maybe 5 or 6 minutes since he left. And about that same time, Larry comes marching around. Here comes this bear. He's got this big tray full of food, some plate, some eggs and bacon. He's got another cup of water. He's got this bowl of some putrid looking fucking rabbit. And he just
fantastic.
sets it on the table, and he's like, all right, there you go.
Menlock walks over to the bar and is like,
Just shoveling
"Oh
it
my
in, crunching
God.
it, bones and all.
Oh God! What?
What's the problem, mate? What's the
Don't
Ray
talk-
grabs his food
don't-
and he'll move to a different table with his back toward Sacro.
Okay, don't talk with your mouth open. Okay, that's disgusting. On top of, is that even cooked?
How's it taste?
No.
He looks eager. He's like eagerly watching you all eat.
Absolutely rancid, just the way I like it. Thank you very much.
Okay, everyone, finish what you're doing. I got us a mission. Okay. And Menlock turns to Larry and is like, "Oh God, why?
Oh,
Are-
did you
are
change
you-
your mind, fella?
Are you the owner of this place?"
Of course. I'm Larry Barrington. Nice to meet you.
Oh God!
Look,
why?
Across
Minlock,
the
a
counter.
bear.
It's the guy from the sign. He's a
It-
fucking bear.
It's a
He goes,
bear.
he goes, wait. And he grabs the top hat off
He's
the
a
counter,
damn
and he
good
puts his
cook. These
monocle up, and
eggs
he
are
goes,
perfect.
and he does like the thing from the logo.
See?
Hey, Sarko, look,
fucking
it's the
hysterical.
sign. It's the sign thing. Do it again. Do it again, Larry.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Do you have food that's cooked
That's
and
the
not
best thing I've
smelling
ever
like
seen.
death?
Of course, if your human friend here, he's got himself some bacon and eggs.
I'll take bacon eggs.
Very
too.
good.
He's
And
got
whatever
good
your
water.
strongest
Water.
alcohol is, please.
He's got water, though.
He goes, what's all that shouting about? Is Mooney having another one of his days again?
Just Wesley having issues again, I guess.
Oh,
So
Wesley, he's a character.
Yeah, he's something, that's for sure.
He'll talk your ear off, too. Why don't you invite him in?
He seemed to be having a panic attack. Someone came last night and destroyed everything and took everything. So that's right, team. We have a mission. We're going to go and help
Destroy
Wesley.
things. No, not in Danestown. Nothing happens in Danestown.
Well, something happened last night from what Wesley was telling me. So
the
we're going to go
bread
and
fella?
investigate.
Is that the guy who's screaming about the sourdough and all that?
Yes, it was the mountain of a man who was running frantically across the to the guild hall right next door.
Oh,
So-
bloody hell.
Yeah. So we're gonna take
Well,
care of that for him.
Well,
I've had
lead
my
on then,
water.
fearless leader.
Let's go.
Hey, not so fast. That's to be 3 silver
For my water?
for all of it together.
What's
And
my...
don't you want your bacon and eggs? I haven't even started them.
Oh, no,
Menlock-
he's been eating them. Oh, wait, Minlock. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Menlock puts 2 gold pieces on the table and it's like, just keep the change.
Oh, absolutely. Is there anything else Larry can do for you, sir? I didn't realize royalty was visiting.
No. Just
Yes.
oh,
One more
what
time, please.
what is it, Alder?
One more
what
time,
is it?
please, Larry. Do the
What?
Do,
Oh,
do the thing.
do the thing. Do the thing for
Do
me,
the
mate.
thing.
He's like, and he finds the hat again.
Yeah, that's so good. That's very good.
It is pretty
Fucking
good.
amazing. I love it.
As you all start leaving, he goes, oh, one more thing. Be sure you all come back tonight for karaoke. It's going to be quite the time.
I bet we will.
Thursdays get crazy here at Barry's.
So it's Thursday here. Okay. It's good to know.
Okay. So again, we're gonna go find Wesley, find his bake shop. We're gonna go investigate, see what happens. We're gonna go from there.
All right.
All right. So are you all going to exit Larry Barrington's pub?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You all exit Barrington's pub after paying him 12 times more than you owed. Quite the tip. And you
paying the academy, keeping it busy.
you make your way out right there in the town square, and you're not even down the steps. Here you go. Oh, thanks God, there's my saviors! And Wesley comes jogging over. He looks like he's out of breath. You don't know how long he's been trying to make it over here.
Okay.
But he runs
Wesley?
over.
Wesley?
Oh, you must be his friends.
Yes.
What are you? He just seems to stop staring at the lizard folk.
I'm Sarcosuchus. You can call me Sarko though if you like. I'm basically a me.
He's the mascot.
You're the ones that broke into my house last night.
What?
It was you.
I don't know what you're talking about, mate. I was with these guys.
No, I'm certain of it. 100%, 200%.
Well, you could. I'm equally 200% sure I was out skinning badgers all night last night.
Yes, Wesley.
Missing badges? Is that what you call stealing my bread?
I've got the guts in my pocket. If you want to have a look.
Wesley, he was with us last night. I can vouch for him. So
What's
you
the
were
claws
attacked by
and the teeth and the eyes. And
Wesley.
where's his wings? Where's your wings, demon?
I don't have any wings. I've got a waistcoat made out of faces.
He's using dark magic to hide himself. He's afraid of me because he didn't think I would come hunting him like this.
Wesley, Menlock just smacks him across the face for a second.
It takes a second for like the energy to transfer, and then he realizes. He's like, "What?
My God!
Shut up! We're trying to let you know what's going on."
Okay, I'm sorry.
I think
He's trying to calm himself down.
Okay. Psycho was with us last night. Okay, he's with us.
His name is Psycho.
Psycho.
No, my name's Sarko. My bloody name's Sarko.
Oh, God, what have I gotten myself into?
You got the Q team, so you know
the
best team is the Q.
The one and only.
Yeah, because
the
the
one and only
starts
Q
with Q, right?
It's never fucking heard of you.
Not many have. We're here to help. Okay, Wesley, lead us to your bake shop. We'll investigate, see if we can find any clues.
Oh, right, but it's quite a walk. You all seem to keep up. They call me the speed demon. And you like look, and he starts walking. It's like he's really like quick. Like you turn, he's like already going, but he just hasn't got very far.
Oh God. Okay, team, we need to keep up with him. He's going
like,
pretty quick.
It's over there, over by the tower and the fish market. And he's just pointing off in the distance. And he's pointing that it's over here. Also, just as you're kind of looking around, these are like these big hills that are rising up to the northeast or the northwest. And there's this large tower on top of the hill. There's also a smaller windmill and a little farm that's kind of situated. And then all around the bottom of the hill are like these different, it looks like maybe like a stone mill and then like a grain mill. But there's all these like little tiny specialized farms around. And if you look to the far right, it seems like more of the kind of housing district, except for a cliff that goes up. And there's a very large, like it looks massive. It's like 200 or 300 feet tall. This giant stone tower that looks even older than the walls. It like the roof isn't made of thatch like the rest of the houses. The entire tower is made of stone. But that's just kind of what you see. But he's pointing over to the northwest, and he's just going, "It's over there. I'll show you." And he's starting to walk that way.
I'm trying to keep up best I can.
We
It's
can
not
just
very
walk
hard.
at a slow pace and keep up with him, right?
Yeah, if you, it's like you're like struggling to walk slow enough to not be like rude. Like you're just trying to walk like, okay, I'm trying to get there. But after a while, you do start to come up on. There's a couple buildings, and one of the buildings you come up on, sure enough, the door is still wide open. It doesn't really have a stoop as much as just an angled slat of wood that's like is the porch. Like it's just balanced at an angle. You can walk up a little ramp. And the door's wide open, and there are there's like white, immediately you can already see it kind of from a distance, white powder all over the front kind of porch area and spilling out into the road. And you can just see like things like in the yard, there's like a loaf, like half of a stick of bread that's just like laying in the grass, and there's like flour everywhere. And he's like, see, there it is. They destroyed my beautiful workshop, my bread laboratory.
What an unmitigated tragedy, mate.
All right, Wesley. Now, tell the rest of my team what you told me on what you saw.
I was just in my room practicing the kill punches, and I heard this noise in the middle of the evening, and it was this happy, scratchy sound. So I went down, and there was a stump, and the demons. There was these monsters. They were massive, and I looked at them and I said, "You better freeze, beasts!" And they said, "Ah!" And they took off. And they burst right through the door, and they took everything with them in one fell swoop. And if it wasn't for my massive strength and power, I don't know, they might have murdered me, but they were so afraid. That's why I like to stay fit, you know. We see the whole grain. We don't bleach breads around here.
It really shows, mate.
Yeah,
it really shows. Keep yourself trim. I like it.
Is
there a
I have to sleep 16 hours a day to keep my form.
I know a bloke who does that.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar to me.
It's a high carb, high calorie, high sleep diet.
All right, so Menlock's gonna investigate, seeing if he can find any clues.
Yeah,
okay.
Same. Is there like an obvious trail that the flour and bread are leaving?
Yeah,
Menlock
kind of.
found nothing.
As soon as what'd you roll?
He got
a
three.
Well, just from observation, you can definitely already see the flour and stuff spilled out in front of it. But if you, Manuel starts walking up. Manuel, is that even the name? Yeah.
Manuel,
is that you? Manlock walks up and he, you look and you're just like, yeah, you're just like staring at the flour, but with a one, you're like, is that baking soda or flour? Or maybe it's baking powder. And you're just trying to figure this out. You're too distracted.
He goes to lick it. It's like, baking powder.
Oh yes, cocaine.
Did you all want to walk up like on the straight up into the building or anything and then investigate further, or are you just kind of distance?
Yeah.
Sarko's gonna have a rummage around on the inside.
Yeah, Ray will kind of see if he can follow or discover any kind of a trail that these things left.
Okay. When you walk inside, you do see this. It looks like a bakery. There seems to be like a table where maybe he does some of the sales. There's like a abacus and like some paper where he takes down notes, and a jar where he has a bunch of coins in it. That seems to be untouched. The jar with these, it looks like a good 30, 40 gold and silver like in there. It's a pretty good amount of money. It doesn't seem like they mess with that at all. There are very obvious like gouging scratch marks that are in various places in the building, in the ground. They're like these 3 claw marks on different parts, that like on the wall, one's on the door where the handle is, one's on the little ramp leading up into the bakery. You see another one on the counter, one on the floor. There are shattered glass jars with different types of food and grain and things spilled everywhere, flour spilled everywhere, sugar all over the ground. There's a lot of bread that looks like it's been eaten or ripped or broken. There's almost nothing in there that's like untouched. The back door, there's like a side door that if you were to just easily peek around, there's like a back area where it's like very clearly more so even the bakery. There's like a little water spigot and like a large bowl where you can see they might mix dough. Back there, any of the like raw foodstuffs that you'd use to make the bread, that stuff also looks kind of destroyed and rummaged into. And there's a back door. That back door is like barely open, but you can see that the doorknob is just completely busted off. And there's similar markings all around the back, these kind of scratch marks and things.
Okay. Sarko looks at his own bare feet, and then looks at the scratch marks, and then looks at his feet, and then has a closer look to see if he can work out what's left of these marks.
Yeah, make an insight with advantage.
Insight, did you say?
Yep.
Yep, cool. I'll just do this twice because I don't know how to do it otherwise.
Yeah, 12. So you're looking at it. You're not having like anything. You're not having like anything overly insightful. You're just looking at it like, wow, those sure look a lot like my feet do.
Oh God.
Wow, that's sure what happens a lot when I run into things without thinking about where my feet are. And it
Okay.
looks like these 3 large
Maybe I
claws
did
that look
do it.
very similar in size to a lot of lizard folk.
Right. Well, I'm pretty confident I didn't do this, so it's probably a different lizard folk.
As you say that, Wesley seems to finally have caught up. He's standing in a doorway and he goes, "Now you see your sins in action. It was you, wasn't it?"
Wesley,
Absolutely not.
Wesley,
Absolutely not. And I've got the badge of guts to prove it, mate.
Don't you? You all just happens to show up and suddenly now my
Wesley.
bread goes missing. 20 years I've worked here and no one's ever interrupted. The day you show up, where's my sourdoughs? In your gullet. You ate some already, didn't you?
Wesley,
Agreed.
Wesley,
What?
did you owe anyone anything? Did anyone say they were going to cause you harm or harm to your store?
No, not
Anything.
any more than usual. I mean, just, the normal yellings and say, shut the fuck up, you dumb person. And like, hey, I hate you, Wesley, you're lame and all that stuff. But other than that, no. I mean,
Have you
it's
thought
just
about-
Mick. But
any
Mick's always
lizard?
an asshole. That's why we call him Mick the Dick. He's just kind of the jerk.
Any lizard folk have issues with you?
I'm not in the business of fraternizing with lizard folk, as we can tell.
What's that supposed to mean?
He doesn't like
you
your
know
kind.
exactly what it means, thief.
He doesn't like your kind.
I
That's
think
what
you're a
he's telling me.
racist, mate. I'm going to call the cards where I bloody see them. You're a fucking racist.
Psycho.
I'd spend any more time standing around here getting abused by the likes of you, you fucking galah.
You're so afraid at night when you're alone to now your friends here. They'll protect you. You big man.
I bet your bread tastes like shit.
Well, the answer, why'd you steal it all?
What, Wesley?
You know you wanted that 12-grain goodness.
Wesley, is there any other information you can give us?
Well, yeah, actually. And he starts taking you to the back and he opens that door that seems broken. He goes, I think so it's that way. And there's literally like flour spilled and you see like one of the clawed footprints and like another. And then like it starts to disappear. You see like one that's pressed into some mud and they actually seem to be heading right out the back door and into the street. Once it gets to like the road, which is like dirt mixed with gravel, it's a lot harder to see like the actual impressions in the ground. Because it's not a particularly wet day out or anything, but you do see that like they seem to be heading back towards the kind of this little area in between the center of all these buildings. Also, just as you're looking out the back door, you see right here is this watchtower. It doesn't seem as nice as the one in the front, but sure enough, it's like this one. You see one guard up there. He just seems to be holding a crossbow, and you actually see a very obvious, very large break in the wall. The break is right back here, and it's about 50 or 60 feet across. I mean, there's different parts that still exist, but like there's parts that are wide enough that like a whole horse and carriage could get through if they maneuvered correctly. It's just right there. It's maybe 30 feet away from the back of the building. However, the footprints don't seem to be coming from that direction, or at least the ones going out the back door seem to be heading back towards one of the other shops and not to like the woods that lie behind this broken wall.
Can Sarko see if he can pick up the trail, follow it a bit further?
Sure, do an investigation check.
Be with me, dice guards.
Ooh.
Pretty good.
Ooh, yeah.
So you're like, I mean, so you're able to track this trail that at first is obvious and it gets less obvious once it gets onto like the paved way. So you tell me, what do you do to follow this trail across the paved gravel? That's kind of like really hard to see footprints. How do you track it?
Sarko gets on all fours and just sticks his snout like straight into the last remaining footprint and inhales really deeply. He's like, oh yeah, all right. I've got a lock on that now. And then sort of that way, fellas.
He's doing the Bloodhound impression again, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Yes.
You're just bloody jealous.
You do catch a smell.
How many times has this failed us before?
Never.
Actually, he's pretty good at it, I think.
Yeah.
So let's just follow him and see what leads or where it leads.
All right, you so you do catch the smell. So you like where there is the obvious footprint, you kind of get the smell, and it's for a moment you have to kind of like, okay, that's the smell of flour and bread, and you have to get the scent of the actual thing, and you do catch it, but it's weird. It doesn't really smell like were you raised with regular lizard folk as well, or what?
Well, I mean, he's slightly sort of atypical in that he looks more crocodilian than perhaps regular lizard folk. So they're like a separate sort of clan, perhaps
Okay.
a backwoods Billabong lizard folk.
Yeah. I had a friend who played a character that was a chameleon one. It was like a homebrew one he found online. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
You change color. But it doesn't smell like a reptilian smell. If anything, you smell kind of a weird decay smell. Like it just smells like you see the footprint and you are following the stench, and it does lead you across the path. But just one thing you note is it doesn't really smell like what most reptiles smell like. Now, I mean, perfume and magic and all that kind of stuff exists, but it just stands out to you.
So he sort of goes and then pulls out the rotten chicken carcass and.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it smells like rotten chicken, but it smells closer to rotten chicken than it does to lizard.
Something like that, right? Well, these aren't normal folks. I'll tell you that.
But you do follow the trail right across here, and you're going up in this next building. It looks more like a small miniature log cabin, and on the front there's just like a picture of a big axe, not an axe, like a what's the thing they chop, like a chop. Cleaver, like a big ass cleaver, and it'll just say mix meats, and it seems like the trails are leading straight to mixed meats.
Menlock walks up to the
dick.
Yes, Menlock walks up to the front door and he knocks on the door.
All right, you come up and you knock on the door and you'll go, "It's open!" This loud, gruff voice comes calling from inside. One thing you also notice, just as you're walking out, on the side of like his little porch, there's like bones and shit just like laying on the ground out there, like a little small pile of like chicken bones or like maybe some sort of like bovine creature's bones.
Oh,
there's
great!
Like off on the side, if you just look, there's like an entire rib cage, like he just like gutted something and just let it rot away. You don't know, but this place is decidedly more masculine than the baker's place was. But he's like, "Yeah, what do you want?"
Okay, we're here. Wesley was attacked last night. Well, his shop was. Just trying to... Oh, God, that smell again.
You walk in and the little bell goes ding, ding, ding. And he'll go, "What? Wes? Oh, God, what does he need now?"
He was attacked last night.
That's it. What did he get himself into?
Some weird...
Like, you hear this voice, but you don't see it. You walk into a bunch of shops.
You guys talk to him. I need to leave. The smells really bad.
It does smell really strongly like meat.
I bloody love it in here, mate.
Yeah, this is Sarco's jam right here.
This is fantastic. Mate, you got to use those bones in there you got outside of.
As you say that and you're walking in, you look and this place seems just as overturned as Wesley's place did. The front case, actually, it has like an ice box. It's been broken, the glass paneling, and there's nothing inside of it. There are things broken all over. Like there's these ropes where he would normally hang meat and salt them to cure them. Those you can see they've been severed. He has like these big hooks where he would normally hang meats. Those seem to be just barely scraps attached to them. There's bits of bones around the room. There's a lot of overturned, broken tables and furnitures and shelves. And you'll hear like, "All right, 1 minute. I'm trying to do something here." And you'll hear this voice coming from behind a counter.
Okay. You look like you've had a rough time like Wesley. Were you attacked last night?
1 second. And you'll see this thing start moving up. This small dwarf is walking up a small pair of 3 little steps that he keeps behind the counter so he can talk to people. He's like 4 feet tall. He's like really wide and like short and stout, but he doesn't have like, he has these huge fucking mullet chops, but he has no goatee, like no beard at all. And it looks kind of strange. He has a mustache, but like his butt chin's like completely showing through. And he has his big chains. He's like, "Yeah, what can I do for you? I already told Wesley to stop calling over here. He's not getting it back."
What is he not getting back?
"I'm not giving him his damned cleavers back. They were mine to begin with, and he can't just say they're his just because Mom gave them away."
Oh God. Okay. Okay. Look, Wesley was attacked last night. Looks like you've been having a rough time. Did
He's
something
probably
attack
the
you?
one that did all this. He's always has something up his sleeve. That Wesley always was a little sneak one. You better watch him. He's faster than he looks, too.
He's a bloody racist as well.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Any other hate speech?
Oh, he abused me. I did nothing to deserve it. Nothing
We
at
can
all.
sit here all day and talk down
I tried to
about
show
Wesley.
him my nice, like, bristly carcass, and he wouldn't like it.
He's the worst neighbor I've ever had. He said, you can't just leave bones outside. Well, I'm sorry, we can't all be vegetarians like Wesley. Let's just rub it in our
What
face.
kind of rule is that? Where did that rule come in? I always keep my bones outside.
Yeah, exactly. Don't talk to me about my eco footprint. I'm doing
Oh,
a service
what's
here.
that?
He just makes bagels.
What a wanker.
Mick.
Anyway.
Mick, is it? Mick, is it?
Yeah, what do you want?
Okay. We followed some footprints that led from Wesley's to here. We're just trying to find out what happened at Wesley's last night. Do you
Yeah.
know what happened?
He goes, why are you yelling, Elf?
I'm not yelling. Hold on. Let me get to your level. And he just drops down and gets right in his face. He's like, Wesley was attacked. We followed footprints here. Do you know what happened?
What are you looking at? You're looking at my beard, aren't you, you son of a bitch? I can grow one. This is a choice. This is a choice. I can grow one. The biggest beard you've ever seen.
Okay, you're overcompensating, but that's another conversation for later.
Overcompensating. I'm the best. I run the best store in the whole damn town. You should
That's
just
pretty
try
good
my
sign.
meat someday. Well, not my. You should not that kind of. You know what I mean.
We're-
Try
we're
the
not-
meats. I'm very confident in myself.
Okay, look. Wesley was attacked. We followed footprints that came here. Were you attacked too? Or does your
Yeah,
place always look like this?
No, I don't know. I was sleeping. I like to get to my 8 hours. Wesley probably came rummaging through here again. He says he's a vegetarian, but I've seen him eating chicken before. Don't let him fool you. He's a little
there-
weasel.
There
He'll
is a
sneak right through
diet.
the cracks.
There is a diet where vegetarians eat chicken. It's a source of protein, but again, that's another conversation for later. Do you mind if we look around, see if we can find any information in your store?
Yeah, I don't care. You can look around, but don't expect me to pay you nothing. I'm trying to clean up here.
Yeah.
If you,
Okay.
if you got any scraps of bone or gristle you don't want, I'll take them, mate.
Yeah, this is the only one with any etiquette.
Yeah. Be polite.
Menlock looks around and he's like, "Okay, whatever."
Yeah,
Anyways.
Ray's been checking out the shop the whole time.
Do any of you want to investigate anything specifically here? I mean, it looks overturned, but you're welcome to make more specific investigations if you'd like.
Yeah, Bray will just kind of check and see if he can find like a similar trail that out the back or something like that that was at Wesley's.
Okay.
15.
15. That's pretty decent. All right, yeah, you looking similar enough to Wesley's baker shop. This butcher shop has a back room as well, and there seems to be even more of these hooks. There's also like a wooden door, like a cellar, but he has that wide open, but it seems like that's his more specific drying room, and there's salts and things in there. All of that seems to be completely gone. It looks like it was locked at one point. You see a broken lock laying on the ground, and sure enough, you see more of these kind of scratches and like gouges in the dirt, or not in the dirt, in the wood. And just like the other one, the back door seems to be broken, except this one is nearly busted off the hinges. And right outside, you do see that the claw marks, sure enough, do seem to go and start continuing towards the forest now, as if maybe whatever it was, this was the last stop, perhaps, on this rummaging.
Well, it seems like if the lizard folk did this, they were after starting up a sandwich shop or something like that. We got bread, we've got meat missing.
Yeah,
Sounds
there's
like
not a
franchise.
cheesemaker in town, is there?
There is Arlington, the cheesemonger, right there. He just points right out the window across the street. There's a big piece of cheese, has a little mouse on it. It's like carved in there all wood, and it says
If
Arlington's fine cheeses.
It better be a mouse in there, Jeremy, or I swear to God.
A mouse with a top hat.
Yeah.
All right. So from what we found out, there's claw marks leading to the forest. Are we gonna go to the forest, or do you want to look around the town some more?
Forest, woods.
I think it'd be best to
going on
follow
with these
these.
other lizards.
I'll holler up
smell
at the
right,
guard
mate.
and see if they've have any knowledge of any lizard folk tribes or anything in the area.
Okay.
All right, let's go talk to the guards then.
Yeah, right there, right next to where the actual break in the wall is this guard's tower, and you can assume that maybe they built it, as a way of kind of watching this breached entrance. It's a lot easier than rebuilding this wall that's hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of years old. But there's a guy up there. He just seems to be standing there minding his own business. He's like not even looking at you guys at all. He's just like looking up in the sky, like, man, this is a great day.
Human.
Maybe you want to yell at the guard?
Yes, human. Hello.
Ah,
Alder,
Hail
we've
and well
discussed
met.
this. Alder, we discussed this. You're a human too. You can't call other humans humans.
Yes. Yes. Human.
You just said it a few minutes ago. It's a human.
he goes, how did you? Do I know you from somewhere?
Most
Which
likely
one are-
not.
Oh, then how'd you know my name?
Lucky guess. 1 out of 100. Gotta get it eventually.
I need to know. Is your name literally Hugh Man?
Well, it's Hugh, but it was close enough. It was still, I wasn't expecting it. I was watching these butterflies dance around. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
You're
It's just a
absolutely right.
beautiful
it is, mate.
day.
Yeah, it's glorious outside. I love the outdoors,
Hugh?
mate.
That's why I love the morning shift. It's just
Yeah,
so nice.
you know what, mate? It must be nice going up with the sunrise and seeing the day.
Yeah,
bringing
do
it
you know
in.
I've never had to do anything? I just sit here.
Ideal.
It's pretty
Absolutely
nice.
bloody lovely.
Hugh.
Yes.
Do you know what happened?
How, you look so familiar. Are you sure I don't know you from somewhere?
We're from Ravens Point.
Oh, Ravens. Yeah, no, doesn't ring a bell.
The Q team?
Wait, that's like a letter, right?
Yeah. It looks, and he draws out a Q in the air. It looks like this.
Yeah, that does sound like a cool name for a team.
Looks like an O taking a shit.
I've never heard of you. Right, it does.
Okay, again, not the first time we've heard that. Okay, Mick and Wesley were attacked. We're trying to find out what happened. Any chance?
They're always fighting each other. They don't look it, but those two, they're as close as brothers. For real, they're best friends.
Okay, something attacked them last night. Was there a guard on point over here last night and saw whatever attacked them, or no?
I don't know. I just get here at 7 and climb up here and sit here till 5.
Is there a night guard?
Do you know of any lizard folk tribes in the area?
He starts thinking, well, there's supposed to be a night guard, but come to think of it, Todd wasn't here this morning. Oh well. Nothing really happens here, like I said. This is actually like really exciting. I haven't been trained for this. Just you all talking to me.
Have you seen anybody that looks like this thing? And he points at Sarco.
I'm not a bloody thing, mate. I'm a person.
He
Have you
didn't know
ever
the
s-
letter Q. I don't think he's gonna know lizard folk.
Have you seen
Don't call me a
anything?
thing. I'm not an object. I'm not
Hugh,
I'm not chattel
Hugh.
to be bought and sold. I'm a living creature. I'm a human. Oh, well, I'm not a human.
You are right, Sarco.
I'm
I
a lizard
apologize.
Have you
Sarko, I
ever
apologize.
seen a being like our friend Sarko over here? Have you
That's
seen any of them
Marginally
around?
better.
Have I ever seen a lizard? Yeah, I'm not an uncultured swine. Yeah, I've seen a lizard folk before.
Okay.
But not here, like in books.
Is there any rumors going around of a lizard folk cults, clan, meetup, anything nearby?
Cult. I didn't think such things exist. Do you know where you are? Things don't really happen here like cults. I mean, it's.
Hey, what happened to this big hole?
I get
in the wall?
minimum wage. I only get minimum wage. This isn't
I mean-
like this is just like I'm like 18. This is like being a lifeguard, but for here.
I mean, you'd be surprised, mate. You go through your life thinking nothing's ever going to happen. You wake up, you're dead. Your entire family's dead and have been eaten by a fucking voracious beast and the likes.
Or you were
You know?
sacrificed to a death god. That happens too.
Yeah, that could happen too. Or, some unknowable creature from beyond tangible space could come and destroy the entire Earth as we're asleep. Who
You
knows?
you could
Maybe
be
a mountain
on
might collapse on your house and kill your granny. You just
you
don't
could be
know.
on guard and some weird dragon thing soars from the sky and eats you, You never know what happens in this world.
We're not dealing with hypotheticals today, though, mate. There's some serious shit going down.
He stares at you for a moment. Did Edward put you up to this? None of that's real. This isn't a book.
I think we're barking up
No,
the
you're
wrong
bloody
tree,
right, mate. It
guys.
isn't.
You don't get out much, do you?
I'm out. I already told you 7 to 5 every day. I'm right here.
You don't
Rain
go
or
far
shine.
from you don't go far from your work, do you?
Oh, come on. My house is. His arm lowers a little bit. Right there. It's like 5 houses away.
Okay. Do you know what happened to the hole in the wall over here?
I don't know. Something with dragons, or I don't know. It's a couple hundred years ago. It's been that way forever, basically.
Okay. So this guy's utterly useless.
Right. Might
we
as well
should
just follow the trail.
Yes, let's go in the
Yeah,
woods.
follow the trail.
Keep
Trees.
your eyes peeled for this Todd fella.
Do you want to go
Sarko, you
towards the
think you
woods?
can get their scent again?
I can give it a whirl, yeah. So what was that? What's that going to be? I can't remember.
Would it be
Investigation.
survival to track them?
Survival.
It could
yeah.
be survival, depending
Yeah.
on what argument you want to make.
Please let it be survival.
Yeah, let's.
You can
I
do
think-
survival.
Here,
10.
I'll try and roll survival, see if it helps.
Survivor literally does say to follow tracks.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. I don't know the area very well. I think the ground's maybe a little bit too chalky and the sun's in my eyes. I can't tell.
I rolled a 15. We're gonna go with the 15.
Well, it beats what I rolled, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the 10's not wonderful, but the 15's pretty good.
I didn't know if anyone else wanted to roll survival and see if they can do better.
I'm just basking in the sun, so I don't know.
So if you follow these footprints, they do, sure enough, go right out the back door and kind of straight into the forest where this broken wall is. You'll be able to see the footprints, like these big clawed footprints, 3 toes, 1 big dew claw in the back. And they'll be there for a few feet, and then the ground will go up a little bit, or the ground won't be so soft in a certain area, and then they'll disappear for a little bit. But you're able to keep pick up on this trail a couple times, and sure enough, it eventually leads you directly into this forest. When you get into the forest, the trail is between 5 and 10 feet wide in different areas. It seems like it's just maybe like a deer trail. It's not like it wasn't like someone came here and they're taking care of it and making a nice trail. It's just like this is just a path that people have walked a lot of the time, or throughout time, just a lot. And you see there's all around you this dense forest. As you travel beyond the broken city wall, you see before you a worn down dirt pathway, and it winds its way deep into the Neverwinter Woods. The pathway is a little more than 5 or 10 feet wide, and it weaves itself into the dark forest for a few hundred feet before becoming muddled and engulfed by the sea of trees. So if you're looking forward, you can see it for a while until eventually it just starts curving and turning and twisting, and you cannot really see it anymore. It's just the sea of trees in front of you. Like a dark archway, the trees of varying type grow hundreds of feet above the forest path. Their thick canopy allows only dim beams of light to cascade their way into the otherwise dusky woodland. From where you stand, the vast forest appears to be endless. It's a conglomerate of foliage and unending for just miles as far as you can see. And it's contrasted only by the massive base of Mount Hotenau, which is this huge mountain that is near Neverwinter. So it's got to be a good 20 or 30 miles away. And it's just like the only thing you see in the background besides this forest. You also just notably, as you're looking, you do, and this is right before you enter the actual forest, you do see way out, there's this one tree that stands out above all the rest. It's seriously like 2 times taller, and it looks massive. Even though it's a distance away, just you can see how thick and massive this tree must be. And it's like literally like 300 or 400 feet tall, and it's a tree. But other than that, you were all just kind of standing right at the edge of this forest. And even though everything's light and it's a nice day out, you can just tell because how thick the foliage is that the further you go in, it's going to be dark. a little bit more difficult to see, and that it'll be a lot harder to see which direction you came from. So you might want to keep track of where you're going, where you're coming from.
Look at that big, beautiful tree. Ain't that
It's
a beauty?
really nice.
That's a nice
It's lovely.
tree.
She's a beaut, mate. An absolute beaut.
I kind of want to touch that tree, if that's quite all right with you all.
Does it
Go
look
on.
like the trail
Go
is
touch
heading
the
in the
tree.
direction of that tree?
Yeah, so the trail is aligned where it's relatively straight, but it seems like, from what you can tell from here, that's a good, I mean, at least 3 or 4 miles away.
I'm
It's
sorry,
just so
guys.
large that it really stands out. That really it, and then the mountain are like the only thing that stands out besides just kind of sea of trees.
Go on, Alder. I know you want to go touch a tree. Go touch the tree.
So it's
I'll-
pretty dark
I'll
down
go
here,
with you,
though.
mate, yeah.
Yeah,
right?
once you start descending into the woods, it's like a slight hill. You can see that it will get darker and darker the further you kind of go in, at least at this part.
Yeah, I'll have a torch ready, and if it gets that dark, I'll light a torch.
Okay, but it is very early. Like right now, it's
Yeah.
like 8 in the morning. You got a whole day of light.
Yeah, it's just
Okay,
bosky.
so
Okay.
even during the day, it's enough light to see.
Yeah,
without
you
a
can
torch.
see.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
saying it's like
It's just
spooky. Like it's like it
yeah.
gets darker. It's
Yeah.
definitely thick woods.
Okay.
Thick canopy, you know.
Yeah, it's
but
not enough to
like
make it
pitch
hard
black.
to see. Nothing like that. No.
Okay.
Um, The warm dirt pathway continues to wind its way into the Neverwinter Woods, and the trees above you are thick, allowing only dim beams of light to illuminate the forest below. The woodlands around you have grown dense, impressive thickets of brambling bushes and ancient trees that line the path in all directions. It's as intimidating as it is impressive. You can hear the chirping of birds and nearly constant rustling of leaves in the wind. Somewhere off in the distance, there's an undiscernible creature that lets out a long and unnerving howl. The place seems to be teeming with life, mystery, and the undeniable possibility of danger. Only minutes from town, and yet you find yourself in a place that has not yet been tamed by civilization.
So I'm realizing that we should have probably been following this trail, but Alder really wants to touch that tree. But
So someone go with Alder, watch and go touch the tree. The rest of us will stay on this path.
I want to touch the tree. I'll go with you.
Okay.
The tree's like a mile away. I mean, we don't
3
want to
miles away. That's pretty
That's
far.
Yeah.
That's fine.
They
And
wanna
at,
go-
at
Bit
this
of light
point,
exercise,
like
mate.
Ray's gotten a little nervous and scared, and so his shape changes into that of a halfling.
Well, do you all want to stay on the trail at least as you're going towards this tree, or do you want
Yeah,
to wander
especially-
off
Yeah,
into
we'll stick to the as much of the trail as we can.
Okay. Well, you are walking for a while, maybe about 10 minutes or so on this somewhat singular trail. I mean, there are little parts where people could have branched off, but like you can see the main trail for about 10 minutes. And if you're just traveling at like a normal hiking pace with the rough terrain, you figure you maybe traveled about half a mile in this time. And for the first time, there is a split in the trail. You see a trail splitting off to the right, and then you see the trail you're on continuing forward. Both of them seem about equal in width, about 5 feet. They both seem just as prominent as the other one. But if you look down, you're able to see footprints still, if you're following this path, and the clawed prints seem to continue to go forward. However, as you're taking this moment of repose to kind of see, make sure you're following the right path, you do notice off in the distance there is a black, thin trail of smoke coming off from the distance that does branch to, or from the trail that branches off to the right. It seems a little bit off in the distance, maybe just a couple hundred feet. You can't really see much because of the trees in the way, but there does seem to be some sort of fire off in that direction.
We can't have open flames in the forest. We got to go put that out.
Does seem a little bit irresponsible. I mean,
Let's go and investigate where that fire's coming from. Maybe there's people nearby who's seen something.
well, if there's folks raiding the place about, there might just be some campers or something. That could be vulnerable to attack.
Either way, let's go see where that fire's coming from and find out what's going on.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
So you branch off to the right, and you do take note that the trail you were originally following does seem to continue forward. But as you branch off to the right towards this thin tail of smoke that you see wisping up into the air, you notice you're starting to walk slightly uphill, and at first it'll go straight, and then suddenly the trail kind of takes a hard left around like this series of shrubs, and you find yourself going then downwards this little rough and rocky pathway. And if you look down, you'll see this little clearing in the forest at the bottom of this hill. And sure enough, you actually see a fire pit that's sitting there and burning, and you'll see 3 small tents that seem to be set up in a circle just in this area. You don't see anyone there. You just see this active fire in these 3 tents. Now, the tents are closed, so the people might be inside of them, but you don't see anyone at the moment, like outside or anything.
Alder's gonna go put that fire out with my water gun. Can't have that.
What are the rest of you gonna do?
Manlock.
So as you're up here, kind of in a like safe observing spot, he just walks out.
Yeah,
he just starts walking his way down.
I'm putting that fire out.
How much of a
Ray's, like,
distance is it from
right
where we
behind
are
him.
to?
It's probably just like 60 feet down this hill. You could probably be running it there pretty quickly.
Menlock draws his bow and then he aims it just in case if something goes south. And he stays where he's at.
You sure we should be going down here?
It's open flames in the woods.
Okay.
Alder, don't do anything stupid. Take the water out and leave.
That's all. Just and then back to that beauty of a tree.
Yes.
As you start walking over towards this fire, you actually notice there is like these 2 sticks, and they're set up like a rotisserie, and there's like a big piece of meat that's like cooking over this fire.
If this is an active campfire, maybe they don't want to be putting it out, mate. There could be people waiting to eat the dinner.
It looks done to me. What about you, Sarco?
Well, it looks done, but I don't want to be like dumping water on somebody else's dinner. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to get it on the food, just the fire.
Oh, okay.
I'll go like check and now that we're down there, do the tents? Can I go look inside and see if there's anybody in the tents?
Sure. As you all wander kind of out of like your little hiding place and you start wandering into this camp, can you all make a perception check for me, please?
Yes.
Yeah, let's see what we can do.
That's pretty good. Oh, that was a performance. My bad.
He's good at acting like he knows what's going on.
Yeah, so I'll roll up perception instead. My perception is not that good.
All right, you're looking around and you're like immediately
Focus on that
distracted.
fire.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
fire, and then you're like, there's meat on it or something. And the second this happens, Mitch's character rather, you are the. Let me pull up the name again.
Menlock.
Menlock, you're the only one that you just hear out of the kind of with your elf ears. They just kind of perk up, and you hear something above you, like a twig, and you look and you see 4 creatures descending down upon the group.
Oh, shit.
I'll say because he rolled a 1, he's the only one that they're gonna like do a sneak attack on. Not sneak attack, but like attack
Surprise
before
round.
initiative.
I am up in front, so that makes sense. Oh god,
but they're like these 4 green. They look like covered in these like green clothing, just leaping from the sky above you, like they just are leaping down out of a tree on top of all of you.
Oh god, level 1 fights scare me so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's goblins. It's always got to be goblins.
Do they look like Sarco? Green?
Well, this thing goes flying out of the sky, and it lands on you, and you just see this little creature. It's like a flash of green, and it's coming down. You see like a flash of light reflecting off a piece of metal. It looks like it's going to stab you with some sort of weapon. And sure enough, I just hit roll, but nothing happened.
One thing
Just
I've got
figure out
going
how
for
to
me
do
as a
this
paladin is some good armor at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to use the pre-made thing they had, but all right, 16's a hit.
No, it does not.
It does not. All right, so this creature comes flying down from above you, and it tries to stab you in the shoulder with a dagger. But what kind of armor do you have?
It is chainmail.
All right, so it's like
Wouldn't
it's
that-
just
wouldn't
not
they-
enough.
Wouldn't the attack have been opportunity or advantage because he didn't know you were falling?
Good point.
Damn
Sorry,
it.
Adam. Sorry, Adam.
Adam doesn't want to die. If Adam dies, he has to DM. All right, the second one's a 10. So
He didn't do
it
any
comes
better.
down and like lands right on you perfectly, but it didn't anticipate. Do you have like a cloak or a jacket or something over your armor, or you like let it shine?
Yeah, I do. I got a green cloak over it.
Okay, so maybe it didn't notice and it went for your back and it like just clings against the metal. It falls to the ground and you hear like a ah, and he like pulls up a like you see a goblin and he's wearing like this green leaf like it's like cloak that was made to resemble leaves. And he has another mask that looks like a leaf and he's like ah, and he's like trying to like fasten it back onto his face because it fell off. And he's going to scramble up and pull his dagger and he's like he's like trying to stab at you all. Meanwhile, the other three land on the ground behind you. They each draw daggers. And it's four
Menlock.
of these very tribal-looking goblins.
Menlock walks over. He's got his bow drawn. He's like, hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me try and talk to these goblins. And he turns to them and speaks goblin to them. He's like, what's going on here?
He goes, sneak thieves, stay back. And he tries to stab at you.
You
I guess we'll roll
stab
initiative.
me, and I will kill you.
Well, they
You
seem
little
to be,
disgusting beast.
they seem to be aggressive, like like trying to keep their distance, but also like trying to stab at you and look as scary as they can.
Hey, little gobbo fellas. You call that a knife? And he slings his enormous great sword from his back. It's in the
This
shape
is
of-
annoying.
in the shape of a hunting knife. This
No,
is a great sword that looks like a knife.
Oh god. I'm still just like pouring out the like this whole scene seems kind of silly to me, like these like little goblins. So I'm just like pouring the fire out still. And I got my shield up, like just like hold them back. Shh.
He's like, you stay back, thief! And he's like trying to hit you. It just keeps hitting your armor as you're pouring water on it.
Menlock waves his hand, and a firebolt appears, and he chucks a firebolt at one of the goblins.
Okay.
So we're gonna do initiative.
Yeah. we should
Let's
do
roll this
yeah.
shit. So am I gonna roll the firebolt first or initiative?
19.
Initiative, man. It's got to be.
Initiative first.
Oh,
20?
They were
I got a
waiting
10.
for a fight.
Ray got a
I was
22.
getting super excited. I thought it was gonna be a 22, and I'm like, damn it, it was a 10.
Hey, is this a good time to take a 5-minute break real quick?
Please,
Yes.
please.
Please, I need another drink.
Busted.
We will be back, everybody, in 5.
Thank you.
Here we go. Oh, God. Yeah, I know, yeah. We are back. Yeah, we tried, but they were turrets. Who was first in that? Nice. Oh, dang. Yeah. It's weak. Oh. Oh, nice.
He's like, oh my god, this is a bad idea.
Oh, guys, I accidentally forgot to turn your guys' audio back on while we started. What happened was Ray slept 2 goblins. Sorry about that, everybody watching. Thank you, Andrea, for pointing that out. I turned it off while we were on intermission. I forgot to turn it back on. So yeah, 2 goblins fell asleep from Ray.
Yep.
All right, so Ray, you cast sleep, and 2 of the 3 goblins behind you just collapse, and the third one looks very confused and panicked, and is realizing this is a bad idea now, especially that 2 of his comrades have just immediately collapsed on the ground.
Yeah, and they'll stay asleep until they're either attacked or something uses an action to wake them up.
Okay. All right. So after that, I believe the next person was. All right. It's
I believe it was Adam.
Yeah. All right, Alder.
Is there one? The one that was like hitting me. Is the campfire between us, or is the campfire between me and any of them?
Well, it's like you are looking at the campfire, and that one was right behind you. So if you spun around, the campfire would be behind you, and the goblin's right in front of you.
Okay.
The one that tried to sneak attack you.
Okay. So could I try to like circle around the campfire? What I'm wanting to do is use Thorn Whip and pull it into the campfire. Even though I put the campfire out, maybe like a burn his feet a little bit.
It might still be warm.
It'd be a little hot, right? I mean, it wouldn't be comfortable.
It's probably
actually,
still sucks.
He was attacked whenever it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to do? You want to run around and then pull him into it?
Yeah, I'm gonna back around and then I'm gonna cast Thorn Whip at it. Kind of make a lasso out of thorns and a 12 to hit.
It's not a 12 to hit. It doesn't hit.
Oh man! So it just like smacks him in the face a little bit, and then
smacks him.
I'm like rolling it back up, embarrassed. And
he's looking at you, and he's
this
like,
has never happened before.
That's weird. This is the first time.
All right, that's all I got.
Okay, so if that's all you have, then it is the goblin's turn. The one that you just tried to hit with this thorn whip, it just looks at you, and it's like, and it dives over where the fire used to be, and is trying to like leap at you for another attack. Uh, 10, so I guess it misses again.
No.
So it flings itself towards you, and yeah, it just is flinging itself, but like it's just wildly swinging.
I'm just holding my shield out and just like keeping it at arm's
yeah,
length.
it's just running into you. It's like half the size of your shield. Okay, so that still leaves the other one that did not fall asleep. It's kind of looking around, and it's going to throw its dagger and then run away. So it's going to, I guess, try to throw its dagger right at Ray.
Uh-oh.
KO.
9.
That'll miss.
So it throws it, and then it just kind of misses and goes flying over you. As soon as it sees that the dagger completely missed, it just turns around and starts trying to run off. It starts making its way up the trail, like where you all had come from before, where you were watching. So it's kind of running uphill up to like into the woods and away from this clearing. And that is the end of the goblin's turn because the other two are still sound asleep on the ground. All right, so then we go to our next person, and that is Sarcosuchus.
Sarcosuchus. That's right, Sarcosuchus.
Yes, sir.
Well, I see that little bugger running away, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want any of that shit.
And he's going uphill, so he's not even like that far away. He's like using a lot of effort to go up this hill.
Boomerang at him.
Boomerang at him.
Of course, you got a boomerang.
Boomerang for 12?
Yeah.
So 12 does not hit.
So it just returns to my hand. Bugger.
It's just running because he like doesn't even have a weapon anymore. He's like, fuck this, leaving his tents.
What? Come back here, you little bogan.
Everyone.
You flaming bogan, get back here. Fight me like a man, or a goblin, or a lizard folk. Any of the above.
All right, I think next is Ray with a 3.
Guys,
Right.
I just now realized these are their tents.
It's my turn. It's not Ray's, it's mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, and you should have went before, sir. So I guess. All right, sorry.
No, it's I had a 10. So.
Oh, all right. I was looking at the 15 from earlier. That's true. I got you. Okay.
So yeah, Menlock just swings around with his bow out, aims his arrow at the one that's running away, and he shoots his arrow off.
All right. What do you roll? Let's roll it up.
A
9.
What are we doing?
Once again, you shoot, and it just flies. This other goblin that's like just left everyone. He's just like booking it.
This is why
Boomerangs flying. We got arrows flying.
No one's done anything except Ray.
Well, fuck.
I gotta
who's
keep
that
track
bring
of my
us to
arrows.
All right, then is that back to the top of the round?
Yeah.
All right, back to the top of the round.
All right. So Ray produces a ball of fire from his hand and then flings it at the one that's running and will cast Firebolt. Has a 120-foot range, so I think.
All right. Okay, it hits.
Oh,
You hit
about
for 1
time.
damage. You hit the goblin in the back, and it just kind of like stumbles and looks back, and it just keeps running, and it's
If I
like,
was-
smoking a little bit. You like caught it on fire,
Oh,
but you only did 1 damage to it. It wasn't enough to take it down. It was enough to make it like fall for a second.
Yep. That's my
He's
turn.
just like, he's like booking it up the hill.
oh my god.
All right.
Is the one that was attacking me still?
Yeah,
against
that
my
one's
shield?
just like Yeah, it's like clawing at your shield, basically. It's like hitting you with a dagger and it's doing nothing.
All right, I'm gonna reach over the top of my shield and try to boop it with my flail, but for another 12. Oh my god.
Yeah, you reach over and you go to swing, and like, there's only, because of how long the handle is, there's only so far you can swing, and it's just really hard to get. He's so short, it's really hard to hit him with your flail. Like, you have no force. You're like,
That's all I got.
all right. I think it makes it Goblin's turn. All right, so the goblin, as it's like seeing you flail, it's trying to just like lower its head and knock it, hit in the head with this spiky ball thing. And it's going to try to move to the right and see if it can get around your shield with another attack.
That's not good.
Nope.
This fight
All
is
right,
just
so-
comically bad.
It's running around and trying to get at you with that dagger, but I don't know. What do you do? Just move the shield? Like,
Yeah,
there's a
just
little-
keep it on his forehead. Yeah.
All right, it misses.
Stay back.
The other one's going to start running more and more, and it just moves up. I mean, it's like 60 feet of movement. So it is starting to get to the point where you can barely see it at the top of the hill, and it's going to disappear into the forest. So that's all the goblins are going to do.
Back round to me again, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Sarko's not going to have any truck with the one that's running away. He's going to go help out his tree-touching buddy. Lunges at the goblin with his jaws agape.
Oh, geez, you're gonna bite it?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gonna
so
try and bite his face off.
All right, I would like you to describe to me how you kill it with one bite.
His enormous crocodilian jaws just open up, slam shut on the goblin's head, breaking his neck, and then Sarko goes into a death roll on the floor with this goblin's head in his mouth until it's severed.
Oh my
Then he
god!
just spits it out.
So he's
Back
just
in
like,
gobos.
he's like, "Ah!" and the sound only lasts not even a second before it's silenced, and it's just the most violent display any of us have ever witnessed. Wow! Yeah, you death roll him.
Just. Oh,
Do you like eat his head or anything?
Nah, but then pull out a much smaller knife and start cutting his face off. Comparing it to his face leather waistcoat and sort of like, yeah, that fit about there, I reckon. I've got a nice spot just underneath my armpit. I'll put him there.
Is it gonna
If
be
you look
green
back,
in the rest?
Yeah.
The little goblin running away, you just see him like throwing up as he's trying to run. He like saw this. He saw you cutting its face off. All right, next. Have the one goblin trying to escape. Does anyone want to do anything to stop it?
I guess I'll try and shoot it again. Let's see if this
He's
hits.
puking at the moment, so that's good.
Yeah,
Nat 20.
All right, so the moment he stops to just look back at the worst time, hurls at the image of his friend getting just defaced.
Literally.
What do? You take advantage of this moment. Obviously, you have a longbow crit.
Just shoot an arrow, aiming it right for his head.
So you hit it so hard that it's almost twice its life. I don't know. Like it's almost twice its total HP. So you really are really destroying this. So what's it look like?
Just the arrow goes flying, and as it's swirling through the sky, and you just see the goblin puking. It just hits him right in the back of the head and sticks out one of his eyes. And his eyeball just hanging at the end of the arrow tip.
And it
It
sticks
falls
his
to the
face in the
ground.
throw up.
Yeah, and its body falls, and it's like
Face
throws
first
up
into
for a couple
throw
more
up.
seconds before dying completely.
That's
Wow.
the bonus 5 damage.
Looks like he saw the point.
That's the damage 5 damage. Yeah, the bonus 5 damage leaking out of its face. Yeah, it drops to the ground, and there's just a sudden silence over the camp, and it's just the two lucky ones who are on the ground sleeping.
Are we gonna make these
Well,
ones? Are we gonna kill these ones, or are we gonna try and
Hey,
talk to them?
Lights, you gonna eat that?
I thought we could tie them up maybe, and then be able to talk to them if we could.
I mean-
I suppose we could do that.
Do any of you speak Goblin?
It sounded like you were talking some kind of gibberish a second ago.
I do speak Goblin. Yes. So I can
speak
talk to
Goblin,
them.
mate, no.
So we'll tie them up and I'll talk to them, see what we can get any information out of them.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad about this because I didn't realize it was their camp, and now we literally just came in their camp and just fucked them up. And, like,
Well, in
put
our
out their
defense,
fire.
they did jump out of the trees at us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we
You
tried.
tried
have
to
to go
attack
down
us.
that way, mate.
We
You don't need
tried.
to feel guilty, you know? We try to be pleasant. We try to engage in conversation. They're only interested in trying to stab us in the ass.
And
I
there's
mean-
still 2 of them alive, so I mean,
Yeah,
it's not bad.
you know, there's still half of them left.
Yeah, the other half is in Psycho's jacket now.
Well, yeah, you
now
know,
you see how the other half live.
I don't, when I kill somebody, I don't want to see them go to waste. You know,
Let's just-
leaving them there to rot.
Let's just face it. It was a bad idea for us to do this, but you know,
What's done is done.
what's done is done.
There's a place for everybody on my coat. Anyway,
Some good news to lighten the situation. Alder, you have successfully put out the fire.
Nice.
Woo.
No forest
As was
fires
your
on my
reason for
watch.
coming down here.
I do have
you
some
put
rope.
you put out the fire. There are now 2 dead goblins, 2 sleeping goblins, and a series of tents. What do you guys want to do?
We're
Okay.
gonna tie up the 2 sleeping
Yeah.
ones, I guess.
I've got some
Yeah.
rope.
All right, yeah,
I think
I would think since they're sleeping and there's 4 of you, you can totally just tie them up. I don't think we need to even make a roll for that. You're able to tie them up. What do you want to do? This camp is, I mean, I don't know.
it's a
it's
fucking
small.
horror show, is what it is.
Yeah. What do you do with the bodies? Just leave them, or you're not worried about those, or does he eat them, or what's going on with that?
I
You
don't.
death rolled the other one.
This one's got his head missing.
I mean, I don't know how long it takes them to skin them, but
I only want his face. It won't take 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, depending on how these 2 turn up, I mean,
Yeah.
they could deal with the bodies.
But after a few minutes, they and what do you do? Just pull their masks off and stuff?
Yeah. Murloc just takes their masks off, takes out a scimitar and places it against one of the throats.
All right, yeah, I mean they wake up after a few minutes. After a little bit of time, you have them tied up, and you have 2 goblins. They look terrified. One of them opens its eyes, and then immediately is like, ah! And he's like elbowing the other one awake, and they're both looking at you like just in terrified. He's like, "We won't do nothing."
Okay. Hi, I'm Menlock. We killed your friends.
No,
So
we
let's-
won't no kill friends.
And then he goes and points over to the one that's missing the head. And he's like, was that one of your friends?
Yes, yes.
Okay. You see that guy over there? He looks like an alligator.
Yes, I'm big.
Okay. I've given him the order to eat your face off and your friend too, if you don't answer some questions I have.
No,
Okay.
me more friends. You know,
Okay.
eat face. No face.
Listen. I'm talking to you calmly. You get a little out of hand, my friend's gonna eat you. Okay?
Yes, me no hands.
All right.
Hands tied.
All right. Where did you get that meat?
Hunt
Okay.
or steal. We take
Where'd you take it from?
bugbear.
Bugbear.
Yes, big, strong, angry. We sneaky. No see Meebo. Meebo
Okay.
eat. We take.
He turns to the others like, they stole the meat from the bugbear, so it wasn't from Mix. So
Okay.
turns back to him. Have you seen any weird monsters go by? Kind of like our friend over here.
No,
No?
Meebo just eat. We just eat meat. Just can't.
Okay.
We're no monster. Nice. Meebo good. Friends bad. You kill friends. Meebo good.
Yeah, he taps him on the head. He's like, yes, you are good. Turns to the other one. He's like, okay, friend. Same questions. Where'd you get the meat?
Steal.
Steal. Okay. See any weird things?
No, just you and you.
Okay.
Just you.
And Minlock stands up, turns to him. He's like, yeah, these goblins are useless. What do you guys want to do with them?
I mean, we can go ahead and let them go, I guess. I mean,
Yes, you let Meebo go. We're good. We share. You want meat? Meebo share.
I've got a rotten chicken carcass you can have some of if you like.
No. Me no shit meat.
Menlock goes over, cuts them loose, is like, listen, run far away.
Run?
Yes, run far away.
Why? Now?
If you don't leave, we're going to end your life. So run now if you want to live.
And he just starts running.
Okay. Why?
This is some apocalypto shit. The other one starts running too. But he's a little bit further behind the second one. He's like realizes what's happening, and the two of them just start running. But they realize like there's just trees everywhere, and they're like, "Oh fuck!" And then they're like, and then they're just trying to like hide.
Menlock turns to his team. Is like, ugh, disgusting little beasts. Now, let's try and see if there's any signs of if they were at Mick's or at Wesley's.
As they're running around. Okay, yeah, making an investigation, I suppose, if you're trying to. What are you looking for? Like flour and bread and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, any like flour, bread, anything
cheese. Well, there's the meat that you see cooking. But yeah, go ahead and make an investigation. 16, 14. Is anyone else going to search?
Nah, Saka's just eating the spitted meat off the campfire.
Kicking around the ashes in the campfire. Make sure it's all out.
All right, well, as the two of you are searching the camp, you do notice there are the three small tents. They're very small, like goblin, halfling size, dwarf maybe, but a human would feel uncomfortable. Anything bigger would certainly feel uncomfortable in there. Inside their tents are just kind of like these tattered like blankets that are like basically just oversized rags, and then they have like their pillows are just basically their clothes rolled up. They have very few things. There's an extra dagger in each of the tents. There's also between the three of them, if you look through all the tents, you'll find like 14 pieces of silver and 1 piece of gold. But the one thing that does stand out is you do find a golden locket in one of them, but you don't find anything that would make you think, other than the meat on the fire, you don't find anything that would make you think that maybe, that they're the ones that stole it or anything. Also, if you look at their feet, they have 5 toes, and they're much smaller than the ones on the trail you were following.
On that gold locket, is there like a picture or anything like that on it?
Yeah, if you open it up, there's like a faded picture of a human woman. It seems pretty old.
Okay.
Well, everyone, this was a lovely time killing these goblins.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I had a great time. I got a new piece for me coat.
You got these patches.
Yeah, it's all faces of various different intelligent races.
Oh my god!
Intelligent races.
Yeah, there's no animals. They're all faces of like bugbears and goblins, orcs. Like there's a couple of human faces in there too. Like you just walks around wearing that all the time. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Smells awful too. Smells really bad.
So I guess we should go back to that trail that we were following.
Yes,
let's
tree.
go back to the trail. Yeah.
Do you do anything with the other goblins? Or you just let them run?
We just let them run.
No, just
yeah.
The 2 goblins run off. They don't. Yeah, you guys search through their camp. You don't know where they went. They're probably watching you or something, but you don't know. They're not doing anything to try to stop you. Especially as he's like sewing on the faces of the ones he just cut off.
Just whistling cheerfully.
He's just like, oh, finally I got the whole patch done. Won't have to worry about that chill anymore. So this detour of these lives being ended took you maybe like 15, maybe 20, not even like 10 or 15 minutes. You're through this whole thing. And before you know it, you're back on this trail and you're like, man, where were we going again? Oh yeah, that way. And you look and
we're going to touch the tree, right?
There's just the left will take you back to town, and to the right will take you down the trail you originally headed on.
And that's the one that has the tracks that we're following on it too, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take that path.
Yeah. So, just for reference, I'm gonna reveal this on the little map. But yeah, that's where you are. And do you want to continue going along the main trail?
Yes.
Okay. As you all join back on the main trail, it takes you maybe just a second, but soon enough you pick back up on the track where there's like the clawed feet, and you actually start to I mean, there's still like the wind blowing because this area is so like hilly, and there's the mountains kind of in the distance. You keep going up and down a lot, and there's a lot of trees that are at different elevations, and you find yourself in this. Even though there's trees everywhere, you're in a kind of valley, and so there is the wind that you can constantly feel brushing through this, or kind of blowing through this forest, and it kind of makes sense that this trail would follow this valley. But you start to hear something else. At first, it's very distant, but the more you walk, about a half mile, another mile through, you hear a very like a loud sound of like a running river, and you find yourself on the top of the hill. There's this large clearing, and you see that off in the distance, because the trees are now actually starting to get a little bit more sparse. So it seems like maybe it was only thick around. You can see off in the distance there is kind of like this little creek or river that's kind of running through the forest, and that's what you can hear. But immediately to your right, you actually see this very large, it's not the one that you can see sticking out of the forest, but this very large tree. It's a glorious looking apple tree, actually. It just looks amazing. You would think that after about all this trudging along the woodland path, you finally feel the welcome sensation of sunlight breaking through the roof of the forest as it warms your cheeks. So as the trees are more sparse, you can actually feel some of the sunlight. The forest around you becomes progressively less dense, and the trees appear to be growing further apart from one another. The pathway gradually begins to widen to nearly 40 feet for the first time since you entered the Neverwinter Woods, and your vision into the surrounding wilderness is not blocked by clustered walls of trees for once. You see the serene forest with the river in the background, and the sunlight is very warm and tranquil once again. And then you notice the sweet smell, and you look at this tree, and it's covered in these nice ruby red apples. It's just this gorgeous tree with these wonderful apples, these little bees buzzing around, and it's just like this nice little peaceful open grove in the middle of the forest. You all want to do anything? It's kind of like off to the side of the path. Like you can, like here's the path and it breaks off on the side of it.
Those apples look pretty good, guys. Do you want to go grab some?
Of course.
Yeah, I've just before you do that, mate, I'm just gonna have a little nosy at it, see if I make sure we know what we're dealing with here. So it's a 10 for a nature check.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking over this opening. It's about 60 feet in diameter. This big opening off to the side. It's a very large opening. And there's that giant, ancient-looking tree. It's like beautiful and huge, and it's the way the like branches twist and turn look complex, and it just seems like this gorgeous tree. It must have been here for very many years. There's just these red apples all over it and these nice limbs. Nothing about it seems like heinous or anything. In fact, it's a very tranquil, nice little spot out here in the woods, about a mile or mile and a half in.
Well, to the eyes of this outlander, I'd say this looks like the nicest apple tree I've ever bloody seen.
Yes, it is. That there is a Malus Pumlia.
Beg your pardon?
Is that true?
Malus Pumlia.
A what?
It's an apple tree. Let's go get an apple.
All right.
So Ray will head over, and like with the change in the sunlight and everything, and he's getting a bit more cheerier, his shape will change from the halfling to an elf.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you're the changeling. So now you look like an elf.
Yep. All right, guys, let's go get us some apples.
Yeah, you come up over this giant tree, and like the base of the tree, like if you were to like cut it and turn it to a stump, would be like 7 feet or something. Like it's huge. It's this giant tree. And there's just, I mean, it's really nice. Like this, like the most heinous thing are just like these peaceful little bees that are just buzzing around doing their shit with the apples.
I don't want to eat any apples or anything. I just want to admire it.
Okay.
Are the apples low enough to where we can pick them, or do we need to climb up into the tree?
Well, who's the tallest? Grundy?
Well, I mean,
7 feet tall.
Probably about like 6'5" or something.
I feel like you could, because it's so big, like you could jump and maybe get some of the low bearing ones, but a lot of the lowest fruit has already been grabbed by animals. You feel like you like the really nice ones you can climb a little bit. It wouldn't be that hard, especially for a lizard folk. I don't think. I feel like you already have a climb speed, right?
Natural swim speed.
But I think it'd be kind of easy if you just climb. It doesn't. I mean, it's an apple tree. The way they're so bulbous, they're not like tall and flat.
Yeah.
Sarko, swim on up there.
All right. That seems like a perfectly reasonable request. No, you're joking, mate. I can't be swimming up a tree.
What are the rest of you going to do while he starts
try and boomerang some down?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Nice.
Menlock just leans against a tree, looking at his fingers. Is like, the things I do for this team.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack. Throw a boomerang.
There we
13.
go. That was one. 13.
Oh, you already did it. 13. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty good accuracy for just an apple, especially when there's so many of them. Like, you're just like, any apple.
Yeah, just trying to knock down, not like sort
Are
of
you like just
nudge a
aiming
branch.
for the tree in general?
Yeah, just trying to hit a branch and like hope that knocks them down.
Yeah,
basically.
you hit it, and a few apples fall. 2 or 3 apples fall.
Nice.
While he's doing that, Ray just kind of stares up and extends his hand, and a spectral hand will just go up and grab one of the
Nice.
apples and bring it down, and he casts the mage hand.
It's bloody
Sweet.
flesh Harry over here.
Menlock just walks over and starts climbing up the tree to the closest branch. So
Sure.
am I rolling athletics or acrobatics?
Make an argument for one and tell me why.
Okay, gonna do acrobatics. He just jumps, does like some cool like
Elven
gymnastic.
parkour.
Yeah,
Elven parkour, yes.
Okay, so you're just like
This is-
doing flips,
this is
like some
awesome. It's
Naruto shit.
a parkour, Elven parkour.
Okay, 21. Yeah, I think of the 21. You
That's
can
convincing.
just fucking Naruto run up the side of the
Just
tree.
like climbs, jumps, grabs it perfectly, jumps, grabs the next one, just twists an apple and jumps down. It's like, success.
Yeah, you run up there, and yeah, as you find it's easy to climb, and you're just going up there, and you're grabbing things, and you grab an apple, and your arm reaches around, and you grab like this branch, and then you realize this branch feels weird, like it's soft, kind of furry, and then you hear like a noise, and you look, and there's a baby cub bear staring you in the face from like a foot away. And then you hear like a louder noise, and you turn, and there's a big ass bear on the ground.
He turns to the cub and goes, "Shh, quiet, quiet." And he looks down. He's like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, all of you hear that noise and look, and there's like this big ass bear at the very edge of like it's like these thorn bushes and stuff, and it's just like kind of chilling there, and it's looking at you. And as soon as it's like looking up at him, and it goes up on its like hind legs, and it's in response. I mean, what do you all want to do?
Okay, Sacco like holds up his hands. He's like, "Wow, bear, steady on there, chap. It's all right. We're friends. Not gonna touch your baby."
Menlock yells down to him, "I read in a book you're supposed to act taller than them. It intimidates them."
What are you doing? You have the bear next to you. Were you saying that like bigger than them?
You gotta act bigger than them. Act tall.
The one on the tree's just chilling, it's just like climbing. The one on the ground looks angry as hell.
Oh.
So yeah,
It doesn't like that
you're
you're-
on animal handling.
Then you say that, and the bear's response is to just like charge at you,
Oh shit!
and it's gonna try to swat you in the head. Because like to you, you're like, "Calm down, mate," and it sees you as like, "Fuck off,
It's like,
motherfucker!"
easy, mate. It's all right.
Like, I'm here for your kids. That's what it looks like.
It's not wearing a monocle, is it?
It's not wearing a monocle.
Damn
not
it.
this one.
So it was Larry.
That'd be a lot better. 14 though. Does that hit?
No, it does not.
Just a
All right.
savage Larry.
Deflect.
So
Affected
it
by
does
my
that,
natural
and then
scaly
you think
hide.
it's gonna swipe at you, but it like drops down on all fours and it's just moving towards you.
Guys, what do we do? I don't want to kill a bear.
The one in the tree is just chilling, and that's the end of the bear's turn. Do you all want to roll initiative and then decide what you want to do, or do you
Oh,
have some
shoot.
way to end this before there's any combat at all?
If I was level 2, I could speak with animals.
Oh no! I only got a 4. I
uh,
was gonna try and jump down with my scimitar and stab the bear.
That's a natural 1. I mean, I know that's not how it really works, but I always play with natural 1s and natural 20s for skill checks.
Either way, it wasn't good.
Did mine
Yeah.
not roll? I just clicked.
Doesn't look
Actually,
like it.
Mitch, if you want to play by the rules I would play at my home table, now I would like you to roll a D100, please.
Ooh.
Oh
this,
damn!
this will determine how poorly you fail. Sometimes you just fail. Sometimes it gets worse.
Mitch falls out of the tree as he tries to prepare for battle.
That is, yeah.
That sounds like a QT thing.
99. Okay, so to me, like closer to 1 is like really bad. 100, I would just say you just simply.
Like land on the very last branch, last second, like, oh god, that was really high.
Yeah, I think you're fine, but yeah, that's like the best case scenario for a fail. Okay. So who's first? I guess let me roll for the bear.
The bear.
I don't know.
Bears.
Normally, when I bring up the creatures on roll 20, I can like hit their attack like you can with a regular character sheet. But for some reason, it's not letting me do that. So 18.
Bear goes first.
All right. Yeah, the bear like drops down on all fours, and then it like charges at you since you're the closest one, and you look the scariest.
I'm trying to
to it.
engage it. Yeah.
Whoa, bear. Whoa. Whoa, bear. Whoa.
10 though.
Nope.
All right, so it swings with one paw. It has multi-attack. Swings with the other paw.
Also
13. Misses again, and that's the end of its turn. It looks really angry. It kind of moves like to like behind you. It doesn't like go out of your. It doesn't get an attack of opportunity or anything. It doesn't leave your range, but it's trying to like put your back on the forest.
Right.
It seems smart enough to know what advantages it might have.
That's-
But that's it.
okay.
So we go to your turn.
It's up to me, yeah. So Sarko's like, whoa, I think we've got on the wrong foot there, Sheila. Like,
Well, Sheila, you got me all wrong.
Reaches out to sort of like pat it reassuringly.
You're gonna pat?
Give it an apple. Give it an
Yeah.
apple.
We'll go for it. Like, try that again.
Okay. So it
Oh,
seems
sorry, right?
at least taken off guard for a moment. It's just kind of like, and you're like putting your arm around it, and it's really not sure what to do. It also sees that like Mitch's character. I really just need to leave this sheet up. Menlock fell and like went to a lower branch or something like you described earlier. So it sees there's like a little bit more distance between the threat and then its cub. So now for the at least this moment, it seems like stunned as to what's going on because it's never been touched in
Let's
such a way.
just slowly back away, fellas. I think
It's
we
never
might be able to
felt
get out
such
of
a
this
gentle
one.
touch. All right, who's next? You see him put his arm around it. It's Ray's turn. You see him put his arm around it. It seems kind of confusing.
Ray will just start backing up, and since he still has Mage Hand, he'll use Mage Hand to pick an apple up and give it to the bear.
All right. What do you want to do with that one? What kind of skill check do you think that should be?
Animal handling, maybe?
Yeah, probably. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
advantage.
I don't know about advantage.
I mean, like the bear's calm. I mean, like
Oh.
give him. I
Okay.
told him.
No.
Don't
So,
roll
at
advantage.
first, so the bear's confused at first, and then it's like now you're feeding it apples, and now it's just kind of like it's really like seems a lot more chilled out. It's still freaked out and a little scared. It does seem like it kind of wants to get its cub away from danger, but it's like it's kind of realizing you're not dangerous necessarily, and it's certainly never had someone put their arm around them and start feeding it apples with a magic hand. So it is
Everybody needs
extremely
a friend, mate. Everybody needs a
confused more
friend,
than
even a
anything
bear.
else.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend. in me.
me
It's pretty good.
when the road looks rough ahead.
I never knew what that said right there.
So it's Alder's turn, right? What are you gonna do, Alder? You just see this going on.
I'm just backing up. I give the tree one quick pat, and then I start backing up with everybody else. I just had to touch it real quick.
All right, wait, you touched the bear or the tree?
No, the tree.
It's not the same tree though that you saw in the distance.
I know, but I still want to pat this tree too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good tree.
That's funny. You're like, this is a nice tree too. I want to touch that one.
Yeah, and
Real quick. All right, so what are you going to do, Menlock? You're still
Menlock
in the
just
tree.
Menlock turns to the little cub. It's like, come here. Let's take you back to your mommy. Come on.
Okay.
You fuzzy little beast, you.
So
So I'm gonna try to go for animal handling.
yeah, I think so. Unless you like know charm or something, but I don't think you do.
No, I don't. Wouldn't that be handy if I did?
I could put the cub to sleep and let it fall out of the tree.
17.
Dang.
This bear like is crawling into your arms now because you're like
Aw.
lowering down the tree, like it's like gripping onto you, and it's just this furry little bear thing. And yeah, you manage to. I don't know. You're gonna start climbing out of the tree with this bear.
Yeah, climbing down the tree with the bear on me.
Aw.
All right. Yeah, you
Freaking
climb down to the ground.
It's
with
not all
this bear.
face eating and mutilation, you know. Sometimes we're just conservationists, you know.
The mother bear is very like, okay, this is the most like in its mind, it's just like perplexed as to what the hell's happening right now. But you, which originally started the whole thing in the bear's eyes, are now walking towards it with its child. So it's just like it doesn't know what to do.
He just puts the bear back down beside the big bear and just pats it on the head like, "Good bear, take your child and go home."
It's Sarcosuchus' turn. Yeah, what do you do? The bear's just like, what the fuck? Maybe like you put it on the ground, the bear's like kind of like it's still like you're holding it in place.
I'm just gonna sort of give it a little cuddle and like kiss on the forehead and just be like, "It's all right, bear. We won't leave you and your little baby alone now." And then just sort of like try and slowly back off.
All right, yeah. The bear like goes by. It like seems to like move quickly to the cub, and it's like kind of protective, and it's like moving itself toward like they're going towards the tree and slowly distancing themselves from the rest of you, but they don't seem aggressive or anyway.
Crikey. We just witnessed one of the most beautiful sights in the natural world there.
But you all got some apples.
Yeah, got some
we got some apples out of that, guys.
We had a touching moment with a mother bear and a baby.
And we didn't have to kill anything.
And nobody
Look
had
at
to
that.
die.
High fives all around.
Yeah.
Good thing they weren't sentient, or else we'd have to put their face on your coat.
Well, to be fair, I only do that to ones that have crossed me. I don't go out looking for faces to put into my coat, but if somebody attacks me and I murder them, in self-defense, obviously, then it'd be criminal to just like put them in the ground and let the body rot away when there's all those useful pieces. I could be making clothes and furniture and useful things.
Hitting the mate.
That's how we do it up in the Northern Territories. You know, it's there's no shops or markets. You just got to like kill and skin things.
Well, all right, guys. I mean, everything looks pretty good. You want to go back on the trail and let's figure out what took all this bread?
Yes, let's actually go back to the job that we have in hand instead of trailing off on weird side adventures.
Ray's like,
I'll say with that, you all hit level 2.
ooh.
Oh, we
Yeah.
solved your
So-
bear puzzle.
Yeah, you solved my bear puzzle. So I think between the goblins and then getting past that encounter without combat, that's probably more valuable than just slaying some bears.
Oh, heck yeah.
So hopefully that's not too. I feel like you can level up to level 2 rather quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, it's no big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, especially with D&D Beyond.
Yep.
Mhm.
Cool.
Boom. Got it.
But you're back on the trail. I would say you're at level 2. You got a little bit more skill. I actually like that you all didn't just kill some bears because it's just a
You
bear.
think we're savages or something?
But
I've
if
had good reason for all the faces I've taken.
But you do see, so that bear thing was like right here, or I don't know if that's showing up on Roll20 or not, but maybe it's not. Oh, you know what? It's not because I have the initiative thing open. Right here is like where you're at in this clearing, and then so down here you see like that river, and the river that you can kind of see down the hill. It's not very far away, and you do see that the forest is going to get thicker again. It's just kind of this open area right here where there's a little less dense trees, and I had this clearing for this one apple tree in the center. You do see that it is clear enough to see down the hill, and there is this little creek and this little river. It's not a river because it's not like 40 feet wide or anything. It's like 15 feet wide, and it seems to go right across the trail. But you can see from up here, from this elevated viewpoint, that the trail does seem to continue on the other side of this like little creek. But it does seem like it is intersected by this water, and you could get down there. I mean, it's a couple hundred feet away, but just a couple minutes walking down this hill and kind of sticking to the path and making sure you don't trip or something, and you can find yourself down at the base of this little creek. What would you all like to do? Is there anything you wanted to do with the tree before you left, or is there anything you want to do before getting to this creek or river?
No, I'm not a pervert.
He's not a tree pervert like Alder.
Yeah. How many times do you touch the tree? All there.
I just gave it one little pat and didn't take any apples.
Well, as you march along I'm reading what I wrote before. As you march along the path, the sound of running water begins to get louder and louder. You eventually find yourselves at the crest of a large hill, and from where you stand, you can see that the forest path continues downward for a few hundred feet before meeting a wide river at the base of the valley where it intercepts the pathway. The river looks to be about 50 feet across, but it doesn't look overly deep. It looks maybe just a few feet deep, like waist height. And you can see that the dirty pathway continues on the other side of the river. You can see mud coming up where something definitely had trudged through this, and this has been like a pathway that many, like probably deer and a couple other creatures and people have walked many times. But it continues on the other side of the river where it begins to ascend back out of the valley and deeper into a forest. So you're kind of like down in this valley, and you can see like the river cuts through, and then you would start going back uphill again. So this portion on the little map is back uphill, and then up here is uphill. And this river is kind of like in the bottom part of the valley.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
I'm just trying straight up ford it, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're walking down, and are you just following the path at this point? Or are you still trying to specifically look for the
Once we cross, I would
trail?
assume we would try to pick up the trail again.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. And you get down here, and and in this like low area where like the trees are still a little bit more clear than the rest of the forest, you do once again see that enormous tree off in the distance. But there's like this hill of other trees that kind of block it, and it seems like from here on out, like it's getting a little bit more mountainous, and you're kind of traveling upwards in this forest, this very mountainous forest. But that still seems maybe a couple miles out. But you do feel like you've made a lot of progress towards this giant tree. But if you want to get down here, why don't you all make a perception check for me really quick?
I think I am proficient in perception. Let's see what I roll.
Yep.
Miserable.
All right, Alder is so Alder and Sarcus, they're kind of like they're following the claw prints right all the way down into the river, and the closer it gets, the ground is more soft, and it's very prominent at first. Like you can definitely see them going straight into the river. They've left these deeper marks because the water in the ground is so soft in the mud and all that. But as you kind of cross across this river, it's not very hard to get across. When you get to the other side, the first thing you notice is you don't see any footprints leaving the river at all.
Mm.
And like the river is moving, but it's not dangerous or anything. You will say that if you were trying to be like, if you felt like you had to be cautious, you are in like the most visible spot, like in this water, in this valley with no trees to cover you. But other than that, you don't like see anything strange, and you don't see anything at all because there are not a continuance of the footprints on the other side of the river.
Maybe they had a boat.
That, or they just, I mean, the water's not too deep. I mean, they could have,
Well,
couldn't you swim up the river?
Well, this is the
Sarko?
thing. I mean, like, I can only speak for myself and my own clan of lizard people, but we can hold our breath for like a quarter of an hour. So there could be something under the water, maybe, or further upstream, or who knows?
Why don't you go and check since you swim fast?
Yeah, go on then, mate. I'll do a bit of a recce. So I've a swim around in
What was that?
a recce. It's like what do you call it? Reconnaissance.
Recon. He's going to do some recon.
Yeah, it's a recce. So yeah, Sarko will just be swimming around, looking for sight of like any signs of passage underwater along the riverbanks.
Okay. Investigate for me, please.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
That's all right, I suppose.
A 12. Yeah, 12's not so bad. So you do see, as you're like looking around and like actually actively searching, you do actually pick up on the clawed footprints again. And you realize that right when they go into the water, they go right. And so they don't ever cross. They stay along the river and go to the right, which I guess would be like the east by northeast,
Sure.
to this river. And it is like downstream, so it is the way the water is kind of running. But you only have to follow it for maybe 20 feet before they actually go back on shore, and they're in the forest offshore. And you actually will suddenly see like these clawed prints, and then no more clawed prints, and instead you see like boot prints of like a shoe, like a boot, and you
Right.
see like boots in the water, like boot prints in the mud, and then like you see mud on this like broken tree branch, and then another mud, and you feel like maybe they crossed the river going across this like fallen tree that's a little bit upriver. But it's strange because it transitions from like claws, like the same claws you've been following with the 3 toes, to a very prominent footprint, and you don't see scratches or anything on the tree branch, and you don't see the claws go anywhere else. You also don't see any like origin of the boot prints, unless maybe they just jumped off of this fallen tree.
Well, it's a strange one, fellas. It looks like they've crossed further down this way, but then the claw marks turn to like boot prints. And I have to say, I wouldn't, unless they've been stealing boots to put them on halfway in the middle of nowhere, that sort of town. I don't see that personally, you know.
Well, I mean, either that or they have some similar ability to me, and I'll pull off my boots and I'll shape change into a lizard folk.
That's some bloody party trick you got there, mate.
It is possible that, or it could be. Who knows? Maybe it is like. Maybe we're dealing with some
exactly like
changelings.
Sarco, except I'm in my clothing.
That's a really impressive trick. I like that. Do you do birthday parties?
I have gotten the request every now and then.
Well, nice one, mate. I'll book you in for my aunties do sometime in after the harvest. Anyway, the matter at hand.
Sarco, can't you wear boots?
Well,
they're kind of uncomfortable, and I'm like trying to put my boots back on my feet.
You
so I just tie the
weird
laces
feet.
and put them over my shoulder.
You guys have got weird feet. And, I can't make your shoes fit.
I'm guessing it looks like these boots wouldn't fit over the lizard folk
over
tracks.
Sarco's four-toed clawed lizard feet.
Yeah, they're so wide that like a normal pair of boots don't really seem like they would fit very well.
So yes, we're either dealing with a changeling like Ring, or polymorph, some kind of polymorph, so they can cover up their tracks.
I mean, I've heard of other creatures that can change their shape
form.
As well.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some kind of fuckery going on over here, anyway.
Lots of fuckery, for sure.
All the fuckery. Well, try and follow these boot prints then, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, there's this, like I said, this fallen tree, and just based off like the mud initially, I mean, it eventually stops being so prominent, but it looks like they might have jumped on this tree because there is a very muddy spot with the boot prints, and then it's kind of smeared against this tree. And you think that it wouldn't be terribly hard to cross the river with this tree.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it might, you could slip, but it's not like super difficult.
But the
you
tree.
all want to follow that?
But the big tree.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate. We'll have a look at that on the way home.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll stop, Alder, and you'll get your chance to touch the tree after we deal with this problem. Okay.
The trail might still pass by the big tree after all. You know, it winds around and everything. Fuckery.
Fuckery.
Well, you can trudge through the water and follow it, or you can attempt to climb and walk across the fallen tree. Either way, the water's not really that deep. It's like a couple feet, like 3 or 4 feet. It's like up to your waist. So you can just kind of wade across the river if you want. And it will lead you to the same side, except when you follow where the fallen tree is, you do see that a little bit down on the side, the boot prints do continue. And they seem to be like on the little muddy beach shore and then into the river a little bit in the back on. Like it's almost like they were trying to be mindful of where they were stepping, but they weren't perfect at hiding their tracks. Also, you do notice that there was another trail leading to the left on the other side of the river. So these boot prints seem to go up and to the right. After the river, the trail you've been following splits into 2 ways. There starts to be a whole bunch of like rolling hills and these kind of, I can't just turn on my Xbox. These 2 like rolling hills, and there's like these trees sprouting around it, and you actually do see straight ahead over these big hills another thick thing of smoke, but this seems like way larger. It also seems like a little bit far away, like quarter mile, half a mile over these big hills. But like I said, you can go up the hills to the left and follow a trail, or to the right and follow where the boot prints are. They do eventually stop following the river. As the river moves to the right, they start to follow the dry trail back to the left eventually.
Maybe the thing that we're looking for is where the fire's coming from. So why don't we go to where the smoke's coming from? Try and deal with it in a non-lethal manner,
But the trail goes this way.
unless they force our hand. So why don't we go towards where that plume of smoke is coming from?
Well, why don't we just keep following the trail of the boots?
Yeah, it makes more sense to me. I mean, we've got a definite connection between that trail and our job. There's not necessarily anything to do with that enormous fire.
Might be another goblin camp that you guys are gonna try to kill.
Yeah, I mean, I did.
We already got one goblin face. We don't need another one.
You got any more holes in your jacket?
Well, I could always, maybe add some tails or perhaps some lapels.
A new pocket?
Yeah, a new pocket, something like that.
I mean, if I'm gonna be like this, I might need a coat myself.
Everyone's got a place as a face on my coat.
The coat of many faces. All right. So do you all want to continue to follow the boot prints?
Ray votes for the boot print.
I'm all for putting out fires, but last time that didn't go so well.
So you do not pick up on the clawed prints again, but you do see these footprints or these boot prints, and you do continue to follow the boot prints. Eventually, like I said, when the river kind of moves to the right, the dry trail that you were following continues forward. There's a little bit of trees on both sides, and there's those big hills to your left where you saw the smoke. But you can follow it upwards for a couple 100 feet, and it starts to bend around a corner, and you actually see, like you've seen a lot of hills where there's trees growing on them, but you see it's made of rock, like a large, like, I don't know, not like a mountain, but it's like this large rocky boulder in front of you, and there is like this black cave entrance in front of it. This is like a good 100 feet away from you, but there's this odd clearing right in front of this cave entrance. It does seem like there are, like, these boot prints are just walking directly up towards this cave. Like, they seem to walk straight into the cave. Also, can you all just make a perception check for me, like, upon seeing the front of this cave?
Mm-hmm.
6, 17, 18.
And 13.
So you follow the tracks around the bend to see that the trail and the boot prints lead directly to a massive cave mouth at the end of a trail. The cave mouth looks to be about 30 feet tall, maybe about 20 feet wide. And from where you stand, you are unable to see anything inside the cave other than just darkness. However, you are able to see what appears to be a humanoid skeleton laying on the ground about 12, maybe 10, 12 feet in front of the cave mouth. The ground beneath it is black, and the bones themselves seem to be very old, degraded, rotting, scorched even. They seem, they definitely don't look fresh. There's no meat or anything on this body. It's very much like this very old bones that have been, scorched and destroyed in some sort of way. And just this very dark cave. And these boot prints are quite obviously going straight into this cave. What would you all like to do?
Yeah, Menlock turns in and is like, who here can see in the dark?
Yeah, I was about to ask that. Do any of you have dark vision?
I have dark vision.
Nope.
Are you the only one?
Yep.
So you're
Well,
curious.
looks like we found a gloriously illuminated explorer today.
So are you all? Let me ask you this: so you're all walking straight up into the cave? Are you hiding? Are you staying back a little? Or what are y'all
Sarko does
doing?
not trust this burnt skeleton nonsense. He's gonna try and take up position in some bushes or something nearby.
Okay, yeah, there's plenty of trees here and there that you can certainly hide in if you wanted to.
Yeah.
What are the rest of you going to do?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go hide in some trees.
Since Menlock is the only one who can actually see in the dark, he's going to walk into the cave.
So you walk up towards the cave and you're looking into it, and you get about 10 feet away from even the skeleton before you realize something off about this cave. Your dark vision cannot see into it. You can normally see very well in the dark, and you feel like there's some sort of barrier, some sort of perhaps magic or a curse or something is stopping you. There's something maybe opaque in front of you that you cannot see. Something is blocking your way and you cannot see nothing but darkness right in front of you. And as you approach, you actually hear an odd hissing noise. Suddenly, you do see a little flicker of something in the darkness, and these lights appear, 2 little lights. And just as quickly as you notice these lights, they're like these 2 little glowing orbs, and they seem to be peering right at you. And then you will see light flash as like a grin of like this dagger-toothed smile. And suddenly a surge of flame will erupt from the darkness directly in front of you.
Shit.
The broken skeleton laying in the ground will turn an even darker shade of brown as the flames burn over it instantly. As for you, I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
And if you, for reference, if you look at the cover of my book, that's what you see.
What's a 5? That's got to be good enough, right? And that's with a +3.
Take 16 fire damage.
Oh,
I'm luckily enough I have action surge, so let me drop my health down to 0. I gotta actually make a save. Oh no. Does a 9 save?
9 fails. Wait, what do you mean on a saving throw?
On a death saving throw.
As an action surge?
No, for some reason I did not want to read that I had. Let me see if I can actually pull it up.
If only we had a paladin.
Yeah, if only we had someone who could heal me.
I mean, I'll be able to.
So what's your total HP?
It was 16 exactly.
All right, so and you fall on the ground. You all see this flame erupt from the darkness, and he drops right next to the skeleton, and he's unconscious. These clothes are singed and charred, and it's just this silence. After just a moment, you'll actually the flames will disappear back into the darkness, and the ground will begin to tremble a little bit. You see the 2 large eyes peering at you from the dusky cave mouth, and like 2 dancing flames, the blazing yellow eyes are glaring devilishly at the adventurers. Who is it that dares to disturb my rest? There's a deep, powerful, bewitchingly evocative voice that emits from the cave as you see an enormous, nightmarish, dagger-like grin reveal itself. Have we more thieves come to throw away their lives?
Ray will walk forward and he'll change his shape into his generic changeling shape, but you notice he has patches of silver dragon scales around his body. And he will walk up, hands in front of him. We came searching for thieves ourselves, Great One. We do not mean you any harm. Have you seen any thieves in this area? They look to have come into your cave here. And I will do a persuasion check.
Sure.
And because of my draconic ancestry, I get advantage with dragons.
Okay.
is this a dragon?
I'm hoping.
I hope so too.
I mean, it just charred me like it was nothing, so I'm hoping it's a dragon.
So
If
17.
So your roll is 15 or 17. And you have advantage with dragons, you said?
Yes.
Okay. You'll just hear a shardy laugh. How do I know you've not come to disturb my peace and take my treasures like so many have tried before?
I'm gonna start creeping up on Minlock because I know he's not much longer for the world. While Ray is having the conversation, just try to put my hands on him and cast Cure Wounds.
Says, you will not have my jewels. but I can add your bones to my
Oh
collection.
God! And then I start running as soon as I hear that. I do cure wounds. And I start running back for the trees.
All right, you cast Cure Wounds. 8 health.
Menlock staggers up from being healed and he starts running off right after him. I'm like, ow, ow.
I'm just yelling, fire, fire, fire.
Put it out, put it
I'll
out.
make like a perception check, actually. No, insight check. All of you make an insight check. And I say all of you because I'm assuming you're all very focused on the situation.
Damn it. Why?
All right, Ray. The rest of you are just like, we need to get away. Ray, you kind of take a moment and actually notice that you can actually see like this ring of where there is nothing growing in front of this cave. And you're kind of able to ascertain that this fire has happened before, and it really only goes out about 30 feet or so before there's foliage that is not burnt at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you think like, okay, maybe you can like stay outside of a certain range.
Yeah, and I'm staying like
this
right
is like some
on
sort
the
of
edge
effect
of that.
that's happened multiple times.
Yeah, I'll just be standing right at the edge of that range. There's not much that I can offer you to, that you would probably take. But I mean, I do have this gold locket I would be willing to give you. And then my word that we promised we will not take any of your jewels. We just are searching for the thieves that we've followed here. They attacked the town nearby, disguised as lizard folk like my friend here. And then it seems like they changed shape, or they, we're in disguise, and we followed the boot tracks to this location.
He goes, you were mercenaries hired by the town militia. You've come to slay me, haven't you?
No, they have not mentioned anything of a dragon, or else I would have came to speak with you on personal means. I myself have dragon ancestry.
It'll say, you have no business here. Be gone. And then another burst of fire, and just like you assumed, it like is just a few feet away from hitting you, but it doesn't. It seems to hit the same spot as before.
Fire, let's go.
Can I do an insight on whether I believe this might actually be a dragon or not?
Sure.
Or actually, I would like to speak in Draconic to it.
Okay.
I also speak
and
Draconic.
I'll ask him, why are you so defensive of your front porch? I mean, come out and let me see you.
You say that in Draconic?
In Draconic, yes.
It'll respond, and it responds in common. Be gone before I crisp you like your friend.
So Sarko stands up at this point, because Sarko speaks Draconic also. And it's like, just before we go, mate, and then start speaking to Draconic. Can I have a look at your bone collection? You said something about a bone collection. I've got something of a collector myself. I've got a few. We can exchange maybe, see what we've got. You like that?
So you ask if you can go see his bone collection?
Yeah.
In Draconic.
Yeah.
He just is like, this is my final warning.
This ain't a fucking dragon. He's full of shit.
On that response, I would cast Firebolt into the cave mouth.
Okay.
Aim it directly from where like we saw the fires coming from.
Okay, and your range is like 120 feet, so you can still stay out of that range of the fire. Okay. Cast it. You shoot it into the darkness of the cave, and it's weird. You see it go, and it seems like it disappears into a completely opaque wall of darkness.
Okay.
The light just ceases as it passes like the barrier of the entrance of the cave.
Menlock staggers over, raises his hand, and he shoots a firebolt.
You'll hear, I'm warning you.
Menlock shoots his firebolt off in that distance too.
Okay, cast it. 22. Wow. All right, you hit. So you aim right for like where the eyes are.
Yeah.
Okay. You hit it, and it's like, and you hear like you don't hear any sort of like, it doesn't move. You don't hear any like sort of response. But why don't you make a quick perception check?
Hopefully this goes better than my saving throw. Here goes nothing.
Make it
16.
so.
When you hit it, you felt like you saw for just a second the face of this dragon, and it looked weird. It seemed like it was made out of like metal bones or something. Like it seems like it just was sitting there, like it didn't move. It was stationary. And then you'll hear like, "Fine, I'll destroy you."
It's a fake. It's a
and then
fake.
there's like a but it's like a little. It only goes like 3 feet, and then you'll hear like stop, no, stop, and you hear like a pitter pattering noise in the darkness.
Yeah, I would assume we just, until something else happens, we're standing on the edge of this and we're just firing firebolts or whatever.
Firebolt again.
Another
Firebolt.
firebolt. Okay, give me one more.
Yeah.
Gotta love cantrips.
I'm gonna throw one too.
19. 13. All right, you shoot him back, and then you hear like, okay, mercy, please. There's like this voice. It seems like pleading. It sounds kind of like an older voice. An elderly, terrified sounding male voice begins to whimper from the darkness. Please, just don't hurt us, I beg of you. This old man comes out. He's wearing this like white cloak. He has long white hair. His cloak seems dirtied and kind of ripped in different ways. His shoes are like these terrible little like night house shoes, like slippers. They don't seem very well prepared for the wilderness at all. The sound of someone snapping their fingers is heard suddenly, and the veil of darkness slowly begins to disappear. The old man runs, and he has his hands clasped together. He goes, "Please, I meant you no harm. Just let me explain." He's just like doing that. You also see now with the darkness that's dissolved, the normal natural light hitting the front of the cave, you see like the front face of like this. There's like pieces of metal with like literally broken knives, jagged, that look like a dragon's face. And there's these two like glass orbs with these little flames burning in them. And you see this metal apparatus. And behind this man, you see this figure in like this red cloak standing behind this apparatus. And there's like this weird glass container on it with like this smoke swirling inside, but now that you see it, it looks like a bad play prop for a dragon. It doesn't look like very much like a dragon at all. The old man is still sitting there pleading to you all frantically. Beside him is one of the most strange apparatuses you've ever seen. It's about 20 feet in height. It looks to be a crude frame of a dragon constructed out of wood and metal. The head of the dragon, nothing more than a few pieces of wood with a few rows of nails and jagged dagger blades. The blazing eyes are exactly that, 2 glass orbs with small flickering candles inside that have been affixed atop the false dragon's head. And there's a long metal pipe that forms from the dragon's throat, connecting to a rusty skeleton of a body down to the floor where you see the second figure. And then you also see that this cave like continues on pretty deep inside, and there's actually sconces on the walls where it's lit. And this like veil of magical darkness was stopping all of this from before. He goes, "Please, I meant you no harm. I just please, just hear me out."
You didn't mean us any harm, but you set me friend on fire there.
Menlock summons a firebolt in his hand, and he's like, "Try me. My patience is very thin now. Try me before I singe you again."
He goes, No, you. I thought you were like the others. And then this, the other figure will come running out. It's a little boy. He has blonde, scruffed hair and a red cloak. And he'll go, "Stay back!" And you see his hands start glowing red. He goes, "I'll zap you."
Well, wait a minute.
He'll go,
mate.
"Damn it, boy, get back in the cave." And he goes, "Please, don't hurt us. We meant you no harm. I swear it."
Then begin explaining yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to have to make space on me coat.
He goes, "First, who sent you? Why are you here? You're from the town, aren't you?"
Yes, we followed the tracks from the thieves that stole the bread and meat.
Did Barley Heart send you?
I do not know
Fuck's
this Barley
Heart.
The governor.
No, it was a baker fella.
Wesley. And
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Complete drongo.
He chuckles
Racist.
for a second. "So you're here about the bread then, and the meats,
that's
the
right.
cheeses."
Damn it, they didn't get the cheeses.
Did someone
kind
make
of
a
looks
Just assume the cheeses.
Did someone make a trip to the store to
Opening
get
up
some
a sem-
supplies?
Yeah, you opened up a sandwich shop, eh? Out in the cave. Secret recipes, right?
Called it.
Well, if you're looking for the food thieves, then yes, you have found them. But please, you have to understand. That man, he's crazy. He wanted to kill us all.
Why?
What, man? What?
Barley
man?
Heart, he's a maniac.
The barley fucker. Well, what about barley fucker? Why does he want to hurt you?
Well, as soon as Governor Gordon passed away, Barley Heart took over, and the last 3 years have just been craziness, sheer insanity. He wanted to purge us all because of a cough here or there, a fever. You can't just
How many of you are in
kill
here?
people for getting sick. He goes,
Yeah,
please,
how
please
many
let me
of you
show
got in
you
there?
before you make any rash decisions. Please, you have to see. Yes, I admit I stole the food, but they were going to starve. We were going to starve.
all
The
right.
boy is like peering from behind the machine inside the cave mouth.
Well, you and I can have a long conversation about cultural appropriation later on, but until then, I guess we'd better see what's going on with these refugees you got in this cave, yeah?
Please, just follow me. I'll show you everything.
All right, well, you lead on then, chap.
But lower your weapons, I beg of you. It's already hard enough out here. It's just
Menlock
children and
shakes out over
elderly
his
and the
back.
sick.
Menlock shakes his hand and the fire goes away. He's like, all right, fine. Hurry up before I lose my patience with you.
He starts leading you in, and on the map at least, I've switched it to here. And you're now going in towards this large cave, and sure enough, there's like the large false dragon apparatus. Looking at it, it seems like the boy would still stand at the end and use some sort of fire spell that would be magnified, and then erupt and then it had some sort of magical darkness to make people think there's some sort of dragon guarding this cave. What do you think, Adam?
I think that would be a really good stopping point for today.
Yeah.
With us right about to walk in and see what's happening.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good
sounds
place
good
to
to me.
stop it.
So
He goes, please just follow me. I'll show you everything.
we're coming. We're
We'll cut
coming.
it.
So again, thank you so much, Jeremy, for running this, for writing this. Where can people pick this up, and where can people find you at?
Well, if you want to get this, go to dmsguild.com. You can just type in the plight of the Blight Thief, and I have it as a pay what you want title. So that means you can get it for free if you want. You can give me nothing. You can give me $1, $5, $10, whatever you think.
$200.
$200.
$1 billion.
You can grab it. Honestly, I mean, money would be cool and all, but like if you want to give me a rating, that would be really appreciated.
Just,
You just
send
wanna-
him some toilet roll in these difficult times.
Yeah, send me some
toilet
toilet
paper would
paper,
be
that'd
very
be
much
helpful.
appreciated.
Or just let me know what you think, Also, I've been working on a second, it's not like a sequel to this, but I'm working on a different one that like I've made no progress on in weeks, even though I almost finished it. But that's like a murder mystery, so that'll be coming eventually. But you can also find me at Master Uzaru on Twitch. I've been streaming a lot since I'm going to be at home for the next like 30 days. A lot of video games. We got like Overwatch, Sea of Thieves mostly, and then some D&D type stuff. We did Monster of the Week a few days, or yesterday or 2 days ago. But you can find me on Twitch. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. Master Uzaru for all of that.
All right. Gerundu. Sarco.
Hello. Fucking Sarco.
Fucking Sacco.
Gerundu at Gerundu on Twitter. I'm in the Discord for this channel. You can catch me on various different streams with various combinations of these gentlemen and other patrons. And yeah, you can catch me beheading people on Conan as well.
I have yet to see a beheading. I've only seen you kill warthogs, so that's not much of a beheading.
Well, that's not much of a beheading, but who's on level 60 and who's languishing around.
Level 40 now. Level 40 now. Thank you.
Yes, it is a lot of fun. Mitch.
I am on Instagram at Base Daddy Mitch. You can find my production situation that I run, Dead City Pro 1. I post on there for like promotional things. There's Facebook. There's a Twitter for it. I'm never on them, but there is there. Hopefully tomorrow I'm dropping an old podcast that I did like a while back ago where I used to play music by some like unknown artists. That's coming back. The new episode should be dropping tomorrow. If not, it'll be on Tuesday. That's Dead City Mixtape on all your podcast platforms. There is one episode, so you can get kind of the feel of what it was like when I used to do it. It's a lot different now. And again, I'm on Twitch at Dead City Gaming. I will either be doing it tonight or tomorrow night. I haven't decided yet, but I will be on it in the next like 2 days.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then again, I'm on the Discord group with these guys, posting random shit. I'm on the Conan Exile server too, level 40, running around with a bow and Brognac. And yeah, having fun there.
Nice. And last but not least, John.
You can find me on Twitter at jbggarageCrafts. Not super active, but you can see a lot of the pictures of the vaults and stuff that I post on there. And then I'm also on the Halfway to Hero one-shot onslaught Discord channel. I participate in the play-by-text that we have on there. You know, it's a lot of fun. You know, we need more people to do it, so that way we can have a full team.
That we need to do it more often too.
I know. It's been
this
crazy.
last week has been
Yeah.
crazy. Hopefully,
Yeah.
now things should be calming down and be able to play some.
Yeah, speaking of things being crazy, we've been wanting to get some more content out, so that's why I'm glad Jeremy was nice enough to DM this for us. We are planning on hopefully getting this like wrapped up in a few sessions over the course of this next week. So we're trying to stream some more while everybody's kind of on lockdown and in need of more streams. Also, we've got for our patrons, we have got our third episode of Dungeons and Diaries dropping today. It is Altrex from Halfway to Heroes. And then Halfway to Heroes episode like 25 or whatever drops this coming Tuesday. So again, thank you guys all so much for playing. It was a ton of fun. Jeremy, thank you for DMing. It was fantastic.
Thanks. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next couple sessions of this.
Yeah, this
Me
was a blast.
too.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, you guys
Me
made it
too.
pretty good. So I'm thinking, well, maybe one or two more.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Probably one or two more, I think, based on how far you made it this time.
Yeah,
Awesome.
man. I'm off for the next 2 weeks due to quarantine. So
Well, I'm still working, so like anytime after 5 works for me.
Yeah, that's how my schedule would be. So if we do these during the week, it'll probably be I'm not sure yet. I don't want to put a time, but it will definitely be after 5 because I'm still working too, but from home, locked in.
Also, I wanted to add, so if you do go and get the PDF of this online, it does come with all these maps, and also these maps were used making Incarnate, I-N-K, and that's a website that I was able to publish them. It was allowed to use them for like to sell. I just wanted to make mention of that. These maps were made.
Yeah,
with
those maps look
Incarnate, so go
amazing,
check
by the
that
way.
out.
yeah, they're very, very nice.
Yeah, I've been putting them up on the stream too. So yeah, I'm glad that we've had those visuals. So yeah. Thank you all for watching. And we will let you know at least a day in advance, hopefully, when we stream part 2 of this. So bye, everybody.
All right,
Bye.
see ya.
You guys.
See ya.